No, I'm not going to stream the gameplay.
You're not here for fucking Mecha Chameleon.
I will stream YouTube. Oh, we're live now. Oh, fuck.
Oh, no,
no. Shit.
Oh, no. How
you're spilling the beans.
Wait, why is it...
If you're not streaming the gameplay, I'll just close the game. I don't want to play that game.
Does the stream also look fucked? Hold on. Why is it like narrow?
It is like 4x3.
It's not 4x3. It's like not as wide as 4x3. Hold on. Do I have to... Why can't OBS just be normal?
Yeah, we're like 480, I think.
What is this aspect ratio? I have no idea. I have no idea, and I don't know why it's doing this.
This is like the aspect ratio from the Scar Tissue music video by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
It literally looks fine to me.
Squish it more. Yes, we need to be like 4x3 completely. Looks fine on mobile. Just give us like the give us like the static, like the black bars and static on the edge. I can just make it look like we're on a CRT. We can stream on a CRT
fine
TV.
On mobile.
I mean, that's mobile.
I think I have to keep. I think I have to keep it because otherwise it'll like turn off the stream if I try and like mess with any of the video settings.
I mean, is that the worst thing in the world?
Like this literally.
If the aspect ratio is fucked, people in chat are going to talk about it, and that's engagement.
This happened when we did the Fully Cooley commentaries for episodes 1 and 2, where for some reason it was just like stuck. Yeah, why is it 480? I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't.
Like, I don't settings.
I have literally no idea why OBS is like this.
Just fucking put on a VHS filter. Like, just try to salvage it any way you can. Then pass it off as intentional. We're talking about the good old days when AniTube used to be good. People made anime videos.
You used to watch anime videos in like parts. Download like a freaking like what is those things that like make YouTube look like the old version of YouTube?
Remember when you used to watch Azumanga Daioh English dub on YouTube in 3 parts with Spanish subtitles?
I don't know if they had to be in Spanish. I guess like if they were just in the thing.
I remember Spanish subtitles for the most part. I took Spanish in school for like a couple years, I believe. I do not remember a thing about it. Completely memory hold.
Mi penis es more duro.
Let me see. Sweet.
Penis?
How do I install this?
A penis.
Penis?
No, it's Spanish for penis.
Oh, like
Shaking
penis.
my head. Yeah.
I will say, I do remember one word, which is marin, which is brown in Spanish, I believe. And I remember that because the dog in To Love Ru, the dog's name is Marin, and it's brown.
I don't remember there being a dog in To Love Ru.
Also, I'm
his name was Marin?
Really quiet. I just realized. There we go.
You remember the dog's name in To Love Ru?
Yeah.
You don't?
I remember it because that's the only like thing that I remember in Spanish.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. How's everyone doing? How's everyone's week been? Has everyone been watching a lot of anime? Is this what Mumi was torturing himself with TikToks for? No, that was an elective. That's an elective activity. That was not.
You don't understand. Mumi will do anything to keep himself from actually working on his own video.
Listen,
he has been putting out some content on TikTok. I will say, he's been putting out some stuff
out. I've been pumping,
but he's not working on the video that he started fucking 2 years ago.
You know, it's actually been it's been a pretty good exercise in making content on TikTok because I've been having to like try to streamline any editing production I usually do to a point that makes it like easier. and as a consequence, it's maybe kind of like approach narration differently. So it's been
I know
been
you
beneficial.
discovered Sakugaboru and you just put it like on the top or bottom part of the screen, and then you just have automated subtitles.
I mean, that wasn't quite what. I mean, it's kind of close, but
it's basically what it is.
Well, yeah, I mean that's honest. As far as like editing goes. Yeah. I mean, like narration specifically.
Hey guys, my name is Mumi, and today we're going to be talking about deconstructions.
We're talking about deconstruction. Everyone fucking sucks. No one knows what a deconstruction is.
God damn it! For this to work, am I gonna have to like restart OBS? This is just too much. Why can't stuff here? I will literally tell you, like, here, I will pull up the settings. I will pull up the goddamn settings here, and it's like a stream that just doesn't have anything. Output, streaming. I don't see. It's like high quality, high bit rate. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean? Preset P5 slow. Wait, what? Tuning high quality. I don't. Multipass mode. What the fuck is multipass? What quarter resolution? What is this? How does this work? I just have it set.
Yeah, the resolution is probably like a quarter of 1080.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
What if I do so?
I don't know if I want to deal with anime discourse. What do you mean by anime discourse exactly? Do you mean like TikTok discourse specifically? Then, yeah, that's pretty dire on there. You mean anime discourse in general? I don't know. I don't know why you're here. That's all we do is anime discourse. Been enjoying Kore Kaite Shine and Sparks of Tomorrow. Kore Kaite Shine, can't believe how good Kore Kaite Shine's episode 3 was. The Visible Streets episode is really good. Y'all watched? No, but I was supposed to watch that yesterday. Have you seen episode 3 of Kore Kaite Shine yet?
Yes.
Wait. Oh.
I thought so, yeah. Didn't we? Pretty sure we did.
I think y'all watched on Tuesday, and I wasn't here for that, so I watched on my own. It's gonna be a vertical stream. I mean, then we could stream it to TikTok, I guess.
Under the output. Okay, wait. Under output, disable rescale output. Where is that? Wait, oh my fucking god, and it's like stuck. It says 720 by 480. What the fuck?
Where is that at? No BS.
It's like towards the top of like the output thing in like a weird spot. And it's using like a depreciated video encoder. This sucks. This is terrible. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to deal with it, ladies and gentlemen. Suck it up. Yippee! Hooray!
Do you guys love Yuri Kumarashi? I like it okay. Like, it was a fun watch while it was airing. Like, everyone was like breaking down all like the art references and stuff that they were pulling from. All the like the bear references, and then you had like the shining carpet as like the bear barrier, stuff like that. Like, it was fun pulling all that stuff together and kind of piecing together the sort of like meta narrative it had going on as far as like like how Japan kind of approaches like actual lesbians as opposed to the sort of like safe Yuri sort of fun, like, oh well, they're just exploring their sexuality sort of thing. But I don't know if I necessarily say I love the show. It's in my top 10 of 2015.
I think you're confusing us for shapes.
Why do you guys? Oh, yes. Why do you guys? I thought it was like, do you guys? It's like,
There we go. Here, let me post this to Twitter. That we're streaming. There we go.
Make a Ghost in the Shell show based on the manga and half the audience thinks it ruined the character. I can't do. Yeah, the whole I don't know. The whole discourse saying with seasonals this season seems like it's been worse than usual.
Has it? No.
Like, I don't know. You got the Ghost in the Shell discourse where people are doing that whole thing.
No one's been harassed off Twitter yet. All right.
Sure. Like, okay. I feel like there's worse like isolated incidents in other seasons, but I feel like this season has like numerous just things that people just keep like everyone wants to shit on the new Ghost in the Shell because it's not the old Ghost in the Shell. Everyone wants to keep talking about Mushoku Tensei and rage baiting Mushoku Tensei. Everybody wants to like shit on Chainsmoker Cat because it's degenerate or something, and then like any chance they get, they're like, "Oh, it's." But
the animation fell off in episode 4. Like it's ruined now. The show is bad.
It's literally unwatchable. I cannot even tell what's happening on screen.
Literally unwatchable. I haven't
literally
seen it.
Unwatchable. The
That's
character's like off
believe
model
what my
and it looks kind of
algorithm tells me.
inconsistent.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of this like kind of shitty discourse going on this season.
It's well, that's what happens when people get bored. They don't have any. They just like make up even more like inane bullshit when they don't have anyone to fucking crucify. All right, like that's what happens. Okay.
So you're saying we need to prop up?
We need to get irrationally angry about something that someone posted on their Instagram story and somehow view it as racist.
On Instagram specifically.
Yes, I believe that's what happened.
Not my major quote unquote. New Mushoku Tensei discourses. Yeah, it's every time Mushoku Tensei airs, this like does this whole cycle. I guess because like new people come into anime and hear about it. It has. When did the first season air? 2022?
No, it's not that new people are coming in. It's just literally like it's an easy topic to just rehash for clicks. That's why you get like these fucking hack media sites like Kotaku fucking mining it because gaming is dying. So they got to fucking grift off something else.
Well, yeah, I mean, the people that are talking about it obviously are people that have been around, but like I think the reason why it does get so much traction is because there is like new people that are like, I've never heard. Like I can't tell you how many comments I've seen that's like, Rudy did what? He did what to his knee? What? I never knew about this. It's like, this is stuff that we've been talking about for like 3 years now. What do you mean you never heard about? Like, I think it's just people that are just new and haven't heard about this stuff that are like giving it so much attention. Like, oh my God.
I mean, I guess to be fair, the first season aired in 2021, about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in 2017, it's still being all the rage to shit on Sword Art Online.
Right.
So I guess we're still in that prime era. If anything, like. Really, that's why Anitube has died, ladies and gentlemen. No one's
Sword Art Online's dead. That's
sort of actually no. Hold on. I had a video. Let me get this pulled up real quick. I had a video.
You say that people still make videos about Sword Art Online.
Yeah, no, I literally saw like a video that was like someone talking about Sword Art Online is like disgusting or something. No, that's not it. God damn it! Where the fuck is it? I'll pull this up. The new
Sword Art Online is rough.
No. Here we go. Here, it's this video. All right, where the fuck is? Okay,
this is like 11 months ago.
Yeah.
1.2 million views. What the fuck?
Yeah. See. That's what you have to do. Here, let me take us out of hell. Let me take us out of hell here.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire. Getting out of hell and going to YouTube. Also, I guess we've just been bullshitting for like I don't know, however long we've been doing this, 15 minutes. Hello. How is everybody? We're here to talk about
been a minute
anime
again.
Yeah, it's been a while since we were streaming. I guess we're talking about what the fuck happened to anime content, specifically on YouTube. Mainly because that's the space I think we're all more familiar with. But you know, other spaces have like their own meta, and you have like people that are making anime content on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But it's different. We are specifically trying to figure out what happened to anime content on YouTube.
What happened to anime?
Like,
why did anime content on YouTube die? How did it die? And who killed it? All right, who?
The Anitube postmortem.
Who's to blame? All right, who is responsible? I think we all know, but we can't say it out loud.
The Trixie influence is going strong. I don't approve of like giving Trixie the credit for people not liking Sword Art Online when people were shitting on Sword Art Online for like years, like literally as it was airing. When that video come out, 2015.
Oh God,
like, yeah,
God.
It was like a very popular video, but like, what the fuck?
12 years ago, so that would be
technically this is the big 2025.
2014. So
okay, 2014.
I guess because it maybe
that's my fucking birthday. Gross. Ew.
Oh yeah, there's no footage in this video either. See, now that's something interesting. It's just her playing some MMO. Is this Terra Online? Terraformers?
Transformers.
Remember that
she might not even be playing it. That might be someone else's footage. She just put it on there.
Not impossible.
That, you know, that's kind of coming back into vogue. Like I've seen so many like game commentary videos of people just like talking about whatever the fuck, and then they're just playing over like Rust Call of Duty maps. You're like,
who was that one like weirdo that was like complaining about new anime because it's trans or something? My audio is echoing.
Oh, it was that thumbnail that was like, old anime was good, the new anime is trans. It's like, what?
I don't know why our
Mumi and Psy's voices are reverberating. Oh, are you is it picking me up on Discord?
It shouldn't be.
Am I okay?
Like, I mean, yeah, if you like, I'm not. Say something again.
Hello, welcome to the Weeb Crew podcast. I'm your host Mumi. And
I'm not seeing anything that could be doing that. Is anyone else hearing that? I don't know what could be.
Are we
Hello,
live?
and welcome to the Sneed Crew.
Hello, are we live? Hello?
Where we talk about Gundam
Is this thing on?
Mom?
Hayden is okay.
How is Hayden okay? And we're literally from the same audio source.
Mumi, you go fucking listen to the audio on stream. Okay, it's good now. Okay. Sure. Thanks, YouTube, OBS. Great tech. Great
How
job.
long has it been since we last streamed?
Been a minute.
1 year ago.
No, definitely not a year ago.
I'm looking at the live tab. The last one was
I mean, no, because
the problem with anime YouTubers.
Like our
We're
last
recycling.
Stream.
Oh,
our last.
you're
stream
redacting the
was,
files. I see.
Yeah.
You're not the only one hiding the truth.
No, we streamed back in March.
I just unlist our streams just so they're not being recommended as videos and like fucking as they're not like, if it's just like a shitty, like if it's just like us like talking or whatever bullshit, and it's like, I don't know, doesn't need to be listed. Doesn't need to get recommended to people.
Yeah, people don't need to watch our content.
Oh, I mean, I put it up for a while. It's just depends on how much traction it gets, because I don't know. That's a YouTube thing. I mean, that's too much to get into on that. Irrelevant. But yeah, the anime YouTube, what the fuck happened?
What happened? Because, well,
Hayden, give us your thoughts. What happened to anime YouTube?
This is like an
what happened to anime
tab.
YouTube? You know, before the stream started, I saw in my YouTube recommended feed a video from Empleman. Where's that video? He posted it a couple days ago. He was specifically. No, he was talking about how Anitube was dying. He was calling out the Weeb Crew for like making shitty content.
Oh, thank God! Someone finally called them out.
Thank God,
that whole thing. Yeah, the video is titled "It's Getting Harder to Justify Making Higher Quality Videos."
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Yeah,
it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting though, because that's something that I've felt for like a minute now. I want to say like at least 2 years. I feel like 2025 was a pretty big like shift. It's very possible that it's like a very personal thing too, and this happened like sooner. I mean, it has been happening for a while now, but like in 2024 going into 2025, like a lot of my favorite creators just quit, just outright. Gaming Historians announced that he was quitting. A guy that I really like, Stuart K. Riley, he announced that he was stopping, and since then he's been like kind of on and off. I'm not really sure what's going on with him. He makes really good videos, by the way. Smaller creator, really great guy. Finn McKenty quit a few years ago. Really liked his second channel. And just like one after another, and it was like some of my favorite creators just like quit. And throughout time, there's always been people, people that I watch, they quit, and that happens. It's fine. It's sad to see when it happens, but it's to be expected. But like recently, the past like couple of years, like nothing's really come around to like replace that for me. And so I've just been watching a lot of or a lot less YouTube in general, because like I go to my homepage or I try to look for videos and I just get really sad.
Yeah. So for context, this is like an incognito tab. So completely got a blank slate. All right. Not signed in. I just looked up some I just typed in like anime or like anime analysis. I clicked on a couple of videos, watched them for 5 seconds, and this is what YouTube's bespoke AI determined that I want to watch based on that information. So these are like anime related. I guess it thinks I'm in my 20s. Maybe I like PewDiePie, or what the fuck even is this?
A manga MV, what do they call them? Manga edits?
And then something about
Guide to Improving Thinking.
Yeah.
Is that like an Ayanokoji Grindset video?
Probably. And then, oh god, you can't see this on stream. Let me scroll down. Okay, well, it's also like, do I have to like drag this slightly? 1 second.
There's just too much slop, similar to video essays. I think that is part of the problem, is that there's too much commodification of content, where it seems like anime content in general is like a solved thing for a lot of people, where they are trying to emulate the content creators who are successful. And as a result, you get a lot of not a lot of insight, a lot of the same sort of video, just kind of in a different package, like it's a different color, different flavor slightly, but it's essentially the same thing. I don't know how, like, everyone used to fucking meme on the idea of like click on a video essay as plot synopsis kind of thing. That is kind of what everyone like everyone has kind of had to move their content toward appealing toward the like lowest common denominator. So if you were making and I don't mean that in like a
here, do you think that this appeals to the lowest common denominator when you're there for his meat?
Yes, I think that does.
I'd be inclined to concur. You think Lextorius appeals to the lowest common denominator?
Well, again, when I'm saying the lowest common denominator, I don't mean that in necessarily like an insulting way. I mean that in like a demographic sort of sense, where it's like you have to have your content where anybody can watch it, right? Like if you make a video
like this
on
an MP needs to be stopped ASAP.
Like if you make a video on I don't know, a Bokusuma or something. You make an anime video on the anime seasonal Bokusuma. You have to do the plot synopsis thing, because like you can market the video where it's like this anime ruined sex robots or something. Like just make it generic sound, like just anybody can click on it, and then they click on it, and then if you like actually give like a very specific sort of like analysis to start, and you're not giving that sort of plot synopsis, people will just fall off the video, and like no one's gonna watch it because they're gonna be like, I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about. So you have to sit there and fucking summarize the plot of this fucking show. And like the longer your video is, the more it's kind of seen as like having like credentials or whatever. So like people want like a long 2-hour long fucking video where it summarizes the fucking show, and you give some like just random fucking tidbits of information, whatever, right?
Like
the
background while you're doing other shit, and then or like falling asleep even.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of a solved thing in a way.
Psy going to Streamer University.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about you guys. You can't fucking compete against her. Don't even fucking try.
What if we just roll up to Streamer University dressed as the Columbine shooter?
I don't think Ludwig would want us at Streamer University after we canceled his buddies on. Whoops. It's my bad. Didn't mean to.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, people just want like funny plot synopsis videos with like very sparse like insight. They don't really want like on a larger scale, which is frustrating because like someone like me, I want like something that's more insightful and is not watered down. Like I want to see more content being put out of like people talking, like analyzing something, or just like giving a specific thought on some aspect of a show or something. But that is not what generates traffic on YouTube. So that's not what people are going to put their effort into. Mm-hmm. And it's again, it's a commodification of it where it's just like there's not really any room for people to just make whatever the fuck they want.
That's kind of always been the case though, at least for like anime, a bunch of other things too. It's not like film where you have like some kind of demand for things that are actually trying to say something, and it's not just trying to make jokes for like 15 minutes, because like film is meant to be taken seriously, and like anime fans will always be like they try to get people to take anime seriously, but then like they can't really take it seriously themselves. Where like they have to go into defense mode anytime, you know, fan service or whatever gets brought up. Like they can never just be confident in the fact that anime is cool and that it is good. There always has to be like so many caveats to it.
Well, I guess what's frustrating is like it felt like, as my scruples that I have with anime YouTube circa 2016 to 2020, whatever, that kind of range, like I have issues with the content of that period for sure, but like there at least felt like there was a front-facing sort of movement or like group of people who were at least gave the idea that they were interested in kind of learning more about the medium. Like whether or not they did or not is relevant, but like there was at least a sort of like push of content.
really time in history where we've consistently seen like quite a few videos make it big that actually like try to say something.
Yeah. And
try to have a point to them.
I feel like it has regressed, and I feel like I don't know if who is necessarily like, what is the blame for it exactly?
I know who's to blame.
Don't say it. I don't know what the blame kind of lies on exactly.
I mean, I think because it's I know, unironically, I think it's like shit like everything that has happened to education over the last 20 years, since like No Child Left Behind basically has like I think there's been a concerted political effort to make people dumber and less interested in thinking about art.
Yeah.
That's my conspiracy theory.
But it's also created like a huge like wave pushing against that. But it feels like the people who are on that side are not really watching or making too much stuff either. Or you see, like, again, throughout history, you see a bunch of people getting into something, and some of them like really give it their all, but they never really stick with it. There's no one who is actually like trying to make points and is competent at it, I must add, that is like still making content. You know, 10 years later. Fair.
It's
Slick, maybe.
It's kind of hard.
Maybe he was around that time. It is hard, like, and you're just not rewarded for it as well. It's like the thing.
There's
like,
no feedback for it, essentially, as far as like you're not rewarded for it with views or anything like that. And
yeah,
it's so much easier for somebody to just put on a camera and just rant. Like since using TikTok more, I've come to the realization that like the people that are the most successful on there and like the people that are like making money on this shit basically just put out like 20 videos, 30 videos a day. And it's just like just them ranting at a camera or some shit that they just clip into like minute-long segments or so, and then just release as like their own short thing. And that makes like that is putting you in front of so many more people than someone that is like actually putting time and effort and thought and research and stuff to like try to make like a decent bit of content. You can spend 3 or 4 hours like editing just like a 2 to 3 minute short together or something where you like write a script and do research or whatever. And then you like edit to like, oh, I need to make sure there's like something on screen that's interesting. You are going to get outpaced by somebody that does not give a fuck and is just spreading misinformation and just like looking on their fucking phones like, hey guys, did you know that fucking Serial Experiments Lane predicted the internet? Like every time. Cause like they're putting out like 20 videos and they get like Lane in their hashtag, they get Evangelion, they get whatever. You're only putting out
Did
one.
You see the latest Jax Films video on JoJo Jax Films?
No.
It's really fucking bleak. Like that's a lot more black pilled than what we're talking about, but I wouldn't be surprised if like the sort of mentality is very similar for at least some of those people. So for the people who don't know, JoJo Jax Films 2 days ago put out The Weird, Deceitful World of YouTube Gurus. It's all AI and theft. And in that video, he covers a couple of these quote unquote gurus, basically just people, using AI to like make these automated channels that just print money, basically.
Yeah.
But there were some of those people in the in those videos that were like, find like an inspiration channel that you can kind of steal from. I think it's literally verbatim what one of those people say.
Oh yeah,
like a parasite.
I've seen like so many of these, like not this video that you're talking about, but I've seen so many of these fucking like YouTube guru videos because like I'll watch on like people talk about SEO and stuff. So I get recommended some of these where it's like you could make $500 million making a faceless YouTube today. in 6 months I got monetized, or like whatever the fuck. And so you click on it, you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? And it's just like, oh, you need to find a niche. And then you set up a AI, it makes an AI script, it does AI dialogue, whatever, and you just put out hundreds of videos a day or something. Like you can't put out hundreds. I think the limit's actually like 61 or something like ridiculous.
Yeah.
You put out 60
ridiculously
videos,
low. Okay.
And like one of them. So what happens is like you just use all these hashtags and shit. That's why if you ever use YouTube Shorts, if you ever like stumble onto like a trend or something, like I know for a while it was like top 5 like moments or whatever, where people would literally go on like Instagram or something, find like the 5 of the most engaged with, highest view count, like meme shorts or clips or dog cat videos, whatever, and then put them in a top 5 and just do like the format where it's like number 5, number 4, like that whole thing. If you ever saw those, what happens is you just shit out a shit ton of those, and one of them gets picked up in the algorithm. When that one gets picked up in the algorithm, all your other shit gets picked up in the algorithm, because like everyone is getting recommended that one video, so it's going to recommend your other videos. It's all the same shit. And so YouTube has basically just made itself where if you're just like shoveling out too. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just more familiar with like YouTube specifically.
I know. I'm just like saying that for anyone who doesn't use TikTok, unlike me.
Unlike me,
I don't use TikTok.
But it's just rewarding people that are shoveling out the most amount of garbage possible, and you might not even necessarily be able to curb it all that well, because like if you like, even if you like use shorts but you only like to look at certain ones and you don't like AI stuff, if you don't swipe away fast enough, it will just put you in the algorithm anyway. Like it is fucking bleak. Like I would be interested to know how much AI content is being produced like on YouTube specifically on any given day, percentage wise, versus like actual human made content.
I mean, and you know what pisses me off about this whole thing like the most is that this is a really bad problem. Like it absolutely is. But like, because it's a bad problem, it's kind of undermining the fact that everyone else needs to also like kind of raise their own bar. Like, remember in fucking 2016 or whatever? Yeah, but like in 2016 or whatever, you would see so many people like calling out each other for making like bad videos. Like that's what Content Cop was. You know, say what you will about that series. The point of it was, for the most part, to critique people's content. And that's just not really happening anymore. I got this really autistic, weird, like, warfare recommended to me. It was this YouTuber, Octorock Reviews, having beef with this YouTuber named Skitty Bitty. And they make like Zelda videos or something. I don't know why YouTube thought I would be interested in this, but I was like, what is happening?
I think so Mumi and I, we stumbled upon like one of those like random drama video, like VTuber drama. And we're watching and we're just like, what is even happening? What?
Oh yeah, the VTuber drama is really sloppy too. But I had this like alteration recommended to me. And I was like, this is just attacking other people, like each other's person. Like this is just like harassment. It's about harassment, not that one person is necessarily. I'm not accusing
Google Docky
one or the other. Yeah, it's just so fucking boring. And that's just what drama content has become, because no one has content anymore. Like no one is really putting in their all. I mean, to be fair, like in 2016, those commentary channels weren't really ambitious either. They were pumping out a lot of shit, and admittedly, like, it was human made, unlike nowadays, which really sucks, because like that's the bar where we're at.
Hi there, I'm Octorock
like,
Reviews.
Okay, well, this content is automatically a lot better because it was made by a human. Oh God.
Yeah, it's so
bad.
It's so like there's literally like the whole streamer university thing. No real shade on like Ludwig or anything, because like the advice he's giving is like good advice for someone that wants to be successful at streaming or whatever, I guess. But like the shit that they're talking about is like, you just need to pump out kids shorts. Like you need to, like, you can't grow on Twitch, like organic, like say what you will about YouTube. There is at least some sort of like mechanism in YouTube that kind of will push your content if you can get it into a right niche or whatever, and it will promote you organically on the website, right? Twitch is not that way. Twitch will not really like, unless you get on like the front page or something, or like there's very limited like how you can grow. Like I think
Twitch is mega capitalism. I mean, like every social media website is built on capitalism, and you know it is what it is. But like Twitch especially is like, if you're not in the top 1%, you like basically don't even have a chance unless you like really try to.
Do you know what the top 1%
beggars
is?
Out of here.
The top 1%, I think Kexi told me, is like if you have like 10 viewers, 17 viewers.
Yeah, it's like you're in the top 1%.
Viewers. So we would be in like easily the top 1% on Twitch right now, because we got like what 53 people in here. Which thank you for watching.
We're streaming on YouTube.
Yeah. Is it different for you? Like,
I mean, we could stream on Twitch and YouTube. Like they did get rid of that thing where you can't do that now.
Can't do both. So okay, interesting.
Yeah, you just can't show comments from YouTube on Twitch.
I guess they
can't moderate comments.
Yeah,
they can't moderate those comments if they're saying like slurs or something.
So like the stuff that's like coming across screen right now.
Yeah. So if you're streaming on if you're streaming on Twitch, there's no way, like if you get 18 viewers, you're in the top 1%. Like it's ridiculous, but there's no way for you to gain people. Like there are so many people that talk about how they started streaming on Twitch and they just would sit there and talk to one person or nobody for weeks, because like that's just how you grow. You have to have shit on your channel. And if someone joins and's like, someone's playing this game, I wonder what they're doing. Like, you can't just be sitting there like quiet, not doing anything.
It's so demoralizing. Like, I mean, certainly, like, I could not stream just by myself talking all on my lonesome. Like, if we were streaming and no one was watching, at least I'm talking to you two.
At least we're talking to somebody.
Yeah, at least you know,
we're talking to the void, but at least we're talking.
But what if none of this is real? What if it's actually the Truman Show and we're only pretending to be your friends for content? We're not real. This is all in your head.
This is why we need a soundboard, so I can just have like a gun cock and like fire.
I mean, we have a soundboard on Discord. You just don't have it hooked up to your.
No, and I would not want to use that soundboard while streaming on YouTube for very obvious.
You don't have to use that specific portion. You can just use the gunshot. Like,
yeah, the fact that
it's fucking bleak. I don't. But he was talking about. Sorry, I got sidetracked. What he's talking about is like, you need to post content that promotes your streams on other platforms. So you just need to shovel out as many clips. Like you don't need to be streaming 24 hours a day or 12 hours a day, or whatever. You need to just stream long enough where you can get the clips that you need, then go and make those portions or whatever into the clips that you can shovel out onto Instagram, onto TikTok, onto YouTube Shorts, whatever, just so you get out on the algorithm and like put yourself out there. Yeah. So much content is just like basically just that. Like it feels like, that is the only way.
That doesn't feel that different from like podcasting, honestly. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like that feels like the only way to like grow in general. Like just shovel out as much shit that you can to like give yourself out there and expose yourself to people. Essentially,
half of a percentage point of people who see like stuff you post on like TikTok or whatever are then going to go to your stream itself, and it's like at that point it's like you're more of like a TikToker, is that what they're called? Then you are like a streamer.
It sounds like a slur. I don't know if I like that.
TikToker. Because it ends with a hard R, and that just makes everything sound like a slur.
One of them TikTokers.
Well, we don't like your kind around here. We like long form content.
What happened to all the long form content?
Short form content, basically. That's a pretty TikTok happened essentially, and then that's
TikTok happened.
I don't really agree. Like maybe the newer generation like generally prefers TikTok because that's like what younger people use now. Like that's definitely an argument, but like, you know, long form content can't just be like completely fucking disappearing like it basically has now. Like it just doesn't like clock.
I think what it is, if I had to speculate, I think what it is anime content in general is a young person's game, right?
Here, this is what happened.
Bugs Bunny was a Marxist in Space Jam or whatever. Fuck. I was still watching. Yeah, no, that's what it is. Like basically, like. And making anime content is for like younger people, and like not to say that older people can't. Like, you know, I'm fucking older. I make anime content, but like the percentage of people that can stick around and keep making content when they're older about anime is low, right? Like fucking, I don't know how many fucking times I've had to see Joey the anime man complaining about how much he fucking hates anime, and he keeps talking about it for some fucking reason because it make some money or whatever. Like people that are older just don't have it, in a lot of them anyway, don't have it in them to talk about anime really. And so what we see on YouTube is a lot of those people, and we saw it with anitubers specifically. All the people that are like in the picture on the fucking thumbnail of this video.
Yeah.
A lot of them, as they just got older, they just started doing other things, or they lost interest in anime, or they lost interest in talking about anime, whatever. And so they just kind of naturally, you know, drifted off and stopped doing something else. I've seen a lot of people, even like the last like year or two, like I've seen quite a few people that stopped making anime content. Like, oh, I'm just going to start making like Pokemon content or something. And you're like, oh, okay, sure. If that's what you want to do. Not calling anyone out specifically or anything, but so you have that sort of natural progression. Who was it that said that kind of like cycle, the anime fan or whatever, being 2 years? Jonathan Clements, is that who it was?
I think that Clements, yeah.
I mean, he doesn't know if it's in the streaming era, if that still applies or whatever, but
right.
You kind of see that sort of reflected in the kind of life cycle of content creators or whatever. And so as a consequence, you see a lot less people who are making that kind of content on YouTube or at least like quote unquote making it, or like getting established as a anime content creator on YouTube, because a lot of the newer people that are making that content are not really growing up on YouTube.
No.
Like they're not growing up making YouTube content. They're not watching AniTube content like they were 10 years ago and are like, man, I want to make an anime video essay about my favorite anime this season or whatever. Like they are on TikTok. Like my fucking brothers are 13 and 16 years younger than me. They don't hardly ever touch YouTube. They just watch TikTok as like their YouTube. And it's interesting going on TikTok here the last couple of weeks and kind of like trying to like get it to fucking work. Not that I couldn't mechanically get it to work, but I couldn't get it to recommend anything that was worth half of a shit. Because like
old man tries to figure out TikTok.
Like you search anime content, it's just like fucking it's kind of just dog shit. It goes back years, and you're like, what? I need to find like good shit that people are talking about now. So you have to get put into their algorithm and figure that shit out. Maybe we'll do a stream talking like showing that at some point, but going on there are just people that it's basically TikTok today is essentially AniTube circa 2016, 2017. Like if that's what you miss, just go on TikTok. Like I doubt that you don't necessarily miss that. You miss that sort of forward-facing thing on YouTube, like specifically on YouTube, where people cared about what they were talking about and tried to like be educational about it or whatever, or at least tried to give the appearance that they were. And you want that, but having progressed 10 years, you don't necessarily want what it was 10 years ago, because 10 years ago it was not very good. And TikTok is honestly about the same level as it was 10 years ago. So you would be regressing back to that point. So if that's what you want, if that's literally what you want, is you just really want 2016 Anitube, just go watch TikToks. Because that's basically what it is. Like people just talking about like whatever, like, oh, did you know that this fucking this anime was directed by this guy and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's.
Did you know that these two characters shares the same voice actor, and it's like two dub actor, like two anime characters sharing the same dub actor?
What was that video I posted? Like, I think it was earlier today or yesterday that I was like, this is literally just a 2016 like boomer slop video, and it's just on TikTok.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. The thing about TikTok is that it can be like pretty good for comedy content because it's short form, short jokes. It just lends itself well to the format. You can post longer videos on TikTok, but those are mostly reserved for like I just had a horrible like working experience, like working at a restaurant or something, and I'm gonna complain about it now for 9 minutes.
In your car. Gotta be in your car.
In your car. It has to be in your car because I mean, I'm sure for some of them it's more convenient that way, but like part of it is also just like hashtag relatability, which I really hate this era of like forced like relatability. You know, you have to have the shitty green screen, you have to hold your microphone because, hey, look at me, I'm just like one of you guys, except this microphone is not actually plugged in because my audio is way too consistent for like how much I'm moving around, and it's so fucking obvious to me.
Let's be real though. If you are good at making content that is just like really low effort, like you just can turn on your camera and just start rambling, this is like TikTok, like right now seems like it is like the golden age for that sort of content, where it's just like I can turn on my phone, ramble about shit out like 10 videos a day. And
I mean, that's what TikTok has pretty much always been. Like, that's the preferred aesthetic, because it's like when you're watching TikTok, you're watching it on your phone. You're like either in your car, like on the bus, on the train, whatever. You're outside, or maybe you're in bed. So if you're like laying in bed at 3 a.m. and you have class tomorrow, like in a few hours, then when you're sitting in bed and watching someone else who is like just laying in bed and rambling, it's like, that's just like me. It's just like me.
Anime videos are now suppressed to 2 to 3 minutes. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Like, I think that a lot of anime YouTube videos should have been like 2 or 3 minutes, and they kind of just were spread out to 10 minutes to make ads and like being able to put in the algorithm. But I think a lot of videos only had like 2 or 3 minutes of shit to say to begin with. So I don't really have a problem with that. The issue is like what you're necessarily like utilizing and like what you were doing with those 2 or 3 minutes.
That's another thing too. Something that I really miss about like YouTube specifically is that I mean, this is something that I've been thinking about for a long time already. But I was watching this video by Jason Graves, also a really good YouTuber, covers older games. He made a video ranking all of the like Screw Attack era AVGN videos, which I'm sure all of you are super interested in and hearing me talk about it.
I know them by heart.
Yeah, we all know them. But something like that he talked about earlier on, I want to say, is that like a lot of those early episodes are only like 6 minutes. Some like I think Double Dragon is like 3 minutes. Like you could just get away with posting a short, concise, snappy video. And like sometimes I like to go back and watch old YouTube. And when I say old, I mean like proper old, not like 2016 when shit was already getting a little bit more bloated. You know what, like iDubbbz had a criticism with a Leafy for. But you go back to like
back when you could only upload like 11 minutes max.
Yeah, back when that was the cap, which like was bullshit, definitely. But as a side effect, I think it made people be a lot more concise and think more about the format of like, they're not making like a feature length video or like the video the same length of like an episode of an anime. Okay, so I'm making a video that's 7 minutes. It's just going to be what it is. No filler, no bullshit. You go back to like old Star videos, great Germa back in the day, Funk. I'm just listing off TF2 players right now. But you also found that in like skits, like comedy skits, let's plays were like that. Just like a lot of content was really just you went in, you had fun for a little bit, and then you went out. It's not like now where it's like, I mean, it's been prioritizing watch time for like a decade now, I think, however long that rule has been in place. And the consequence of that is that videos are bloated to shit. Just like no one knows how to write anymore, or no one knows how to edit to make things like snappy and funny.
Well, no one knows how to do it concisely, but you kind of have two weird schools of content creation where you have either the long, overblown, like just diatribe of just like 2 hours of just whatever, or you have like maybe 20-30 minutes, but it's like hyper edited, like zoomer edit, like a fucking Mr. Beast video, and it's like
yeah, but that's still like 20 to 30 minutes, like the perfect time to like put something on while you're eating. And I'm guilty of this too. I think we're all guilty of this. I do enjoy my eating videos, but like you don't really have any other options for like something really short. Like sometimes I just want to watch like a little quick video if I'm working on something, just something really snappy and like satisfying, and then get back to my work.
Okay. Anime YouTube is now similar to movie YouTube, only hyping up or shitting on the biggest new upcoming releases and what gives views. I don't even necessarily know if that's true. Like the newest releases this season, no one's hardly talking about them. Like we're in this weird spot where like only certain kinds of content breaks through. Like most, like the people that are talking about new stuff, a lot of them are just talking about Freerun again, or like something that like has like a kind of built-in audience, like Freerun or Mushoku Tensei or like ReZero or something. I don't know. It's just there's not even really the space for people to even like talk about like the world is dancing and
there needs to be a behind fandom. Mumi. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you're a fandom.
You're appealing to a fandom, I guess. Like
I have noticed that as well. I'm going to be a little bit controversial. Like appealing to fandom content in particular. You were mentioning like lowest common denominator. Fandom content, like that shit is rough. I feel like general topic videos is the only way you can really generate any kind of like more sort of meaningful discourse. I'm saying this as someone who has dedicated themselves to making shoujo videos for several years now, and you can say whatever you want about my upload schedule. I try very hard.
Oh my god, do I try? I'm sorry.
And I've told you guys this many times before, but like you just don't get any interesting comments, or well, I don't, but I also look at other people's videos who are in a similar space as I am, and there's nothing interesting either. There's nothing like trying to forward the conversation.
You get managed to talk about lesser talked and news shows still. He does, but he's also Giguk. Like it's a problem. The problem is mainly one of SEO, in the sense that if random Joe Schmo Blow makes a video on Draw This and Die airing this season, the likelihood that that's going to get picked up by the algorithm is very low. If they happen to like market it just right, and they do like the Kenny Lauderdale sort of like naming convention, and like some
I get very lucky. That, like,
you get very lucky, then yeah, that maybe it could blow up. The likelihood is just very low. Giguk has the benefit of having a built-in audience of like 1 million plus subscribe. I don't know how many fucking subscribers he's got at the moment.
I think
3 million. He's got that going for him. He's got the kind of established like seasonal trend thing where people just will go watch. A lot of people that watch that video don't care about watching new anime. They're just like, I want to watch Giguk make a funny joke about this new anime that aired or something. So yes, he's making videos on stuff and he's getting views talking about something that's lesser talked about, but that's kind of like an edge case, right? That's not a standard sort of experience. Most people that are going to go talk about, like, Witch Hat did blow up. That was one that though that one again has a built-in audience because the manga has been relatively popular for a while.
Fandom.
And it's also an industry plant, as we all know.
As we all know, by the United Nations. Doing this for like a decade.
Yeah. But yeah, the average person making content is just not, it's not going to reach anybody. I mean, like I've gotten into this discussion on Discord probably 2 or 3 times the last month where people will like just offhand like mention like someone's thumbnails or titles or something. And it's like, I don't know, people that I feel like if you have an issue with people's titles and thumbnails or like how they market videos, you should spend some time trying to make videos yourself and then kind of see why people do what they're doing. Because like I feel like I was much more critical of like how things were marketed or packaged, I should say, until like we started trying to put stuff out there. And it's like, I don't give a fuck what this video is called or like what the title, like the thumbnail is. Like that is not what I'm spending my time working on. Like that's what I spend my time trying to like promote the thing that I'm working on. But that is not the thing I'm like, that is not the thing I'm focused on. Like if I make a video, I'm focused on the video. Like I care about the quality of the video and like what the information is and making it entertaining or whatever. And so I'm just trying to get as many people to click on that fucking video as I can. Because the problem is if it doesn't get put into the right algorithm or in front of the right people or whatever, it will just not get put in front of anybody. So like there are probably numerous videos out there that are like your next favorite video or whatever that you will never be able to see or never be able to watch because they've got to put on a channel with like 30 subscribers. They only got 2 videos and they never upload again because no one ever watched their shit. And it's going to have 200 views and it will sit at 200 views for the next 7 years or something, you know? Like there are so many, like there's so many people that upload. There's so many channels like that. It's just fucking dark. It's grim.
Grim dark?
And like I said, what I said about the, like meaningful comments thing, like it's so difficult to keep yourself motivated because if no one else is like really leaving like meaningful comments, like that's really what you can bank on when you're really small. And generally speaking, from what I've seen more like smaller creators that, like people tend to be like pretty nice towards them if they're up and coming. But the thing about like posting someone else's thumbnail or title on Twitter, like it's just kind of discouraging because you're trying to like be something and you know you're playing the game, it is what it is, but then like you just have these people who reduce your work to like you essentially experimenting and trying to become, you know, like reaching more people. so you have this dilemma where like if you make something that is a little bit more like eye-catching for a lack of a better term, is something more maybe controversial, but then the video is good, well, that's not going to matter because like the controversial title and thumbnail pissed off like a certain subset of Twitter, and then maybe you get some views from that, but like not really. It's mostly just other people farming content to like boost their own
rage bait. Yeah, just drama farming,
just rage baiting off of people who actually tried. Even if the video is bad, they tried to make something. Like these people, they don't try to make anything.
I mean, to be fair, that's what we've been talking about. Like, what incentive is there to try to make anything if you can just make money or gain notoriety or whatever, just not doing that?
Well, yeah, because it's a negativity loop of like, if you try to make it, then, AnyTube
putting
just
yourself
has
out
such
there.
a low ceiling of success. You can do literally anything else, and you will probably be a lot more successful. Even like, I love Doraemon, and I love her cooking videos. They're phenomenal, super comfy. I'm not like talking smack about Doraemon. I worked for her.
Why would you talk
like,
smack about
even
what
she has kind of shifted towards making cooking videos, and maybe that's burnout. Maybe she doesn't feel like making more like analysis or review type content. Like that's fine. But again, you see so many people shifting. Like, hold on, fucking.
There's still some pretty interesting people making deeper discussion.
Just yelled at me. What did I say? What was I talking about?
I don't know. I'm not listening.
God damn it.
I'm just playing Pokemon.
You have people like continually like shifting away specifically from videos that have anything to do with anime, and you see this at every level. Like the Trash Taste guys, they want to move away from anime and get into like Japan content, because Japan, living there is basically like a content farm. Anime reviewers, again, Harlan, I love you. I love your Jeopardy videos. You make really fun videos, and I'm sorry your channel got demonetized, but that clearly became a lot more successful than everything else. And I think he did try to make some analysis videos after his Jeopardy videos blew up. But like the point being, like everything else is just more successful. So like, why would you even like bother?
Why even
because
try?
You're
like,
just putting yourself into the ground.
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's necessarily even on the creators. Like they're just going where the demand is, essentially.
Again, like I can't blame these people, and I do like their videos. It's just kind of a shame, and I've talked about this to some of my older friends in the space as well, who like moved. I think Shapes is the only person I still talk to from around then who still like tries to make anime videos kind of the same way. And these other guys have definitely moved to greener pastures. Like they're a lot more successful. They find themselves comfortable in what they're making. But it just kind of makes me feel pathetic, because here I am trying to make like a similar style of video. And I think I'm like growing a lot. I think I'm really improving with everything that I make. I'm really happy with what I'm putting out. But at the same time, like it's just not getting any traction really, which isn't even necessarily true, because I've had videos that have done like pretty well, like the Precure and Fruits Basket videos. Those videos got like 80 and 90,000 views, which isn't nothing, but considering the amount of time and effort and money that I sunk into those videos, it's not even close to like making back what I invested into making them, and I made them because I wanted them to exist. I don't even really care that much about Precure that way. I think it's like fine. I like it okay, but I wanted to make that video because I thought that it would be a really good video for that community. It would be really valuable. Like very, very few comments actually were about the video. And it's the same thing with the Fruits Basket video. And I still see people saying like, oh, Natsuki Takeya hated the original Fruits Basket show. And it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm trying so hard to make something valuable in a way that, in my view at least, like respects the viewer, like gives them something like really highly edited, something worth their time, and like no one cares.
That's a lot of what the kind of like content gurus will talk about. They're like, oh, you need to make content that will incite people to leave engagement comments because they want to like show off how smart they are, or like make some comments are not really engaging in like actual discussion anymore, or like the content or whatever. They're just kind of there to signpost about like, look at me, how cool I am, or how smart I am, or whatever. Like, so that a lot of people are just like, yeah, just make the content that makes people want to comment.
Of YouTube comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of comments, someone's like, there's still some pretty interesting people making deeper discussions. Just seems like slightly less of them, and the interconnectedness of the YouTube ecosystem is much lower than it used to be. I don't know how interconnected YouTube or anime YouTube in general has been. There definitely was a time period where the kind of larger creators were interconnected, at least, where you had some of the larger ones anyway, like where like Jeff and did Trixie and Nate and all them were like kind of in that sort of procrastinator sphere or whatever. Though I think that is kind of a phenomenon that happens relatively commonly in YouTube space. I don't know how.
Always ends so well.
Always ends so well. I just don't know how interconnected the space in general was. I don't think there's ever been a point where everybody was kind of more interconnected. Even when Shaves was doing like AnyTube Digest, at least like when he's before, like after the first 2 or 3 years at least, that sort of sense of community was kind of gone at that point. And I feel like the experience
happened really quick, which was really sad. I mean, you can, again, Shapes, I love you, but you'd probably agree yourself that you ran out of steam like relatively quick as well.
Well, I mean, like, what was the steam?
And I can't blame them.
Yeah, it's like, what are you feeding the engine? Like, where's the steam coming from? Like, what?
Yeah, especially when you talk about certain creators and they just kind of reject everything you have to say and then like block themselves out of like your own sort of like they just box themselves out, and then it's like, oh, okay, so now it just looks like I harassed this person, and this person and their entire like group of friends or their fan base or whatever don't like me.
You should recommend people that still make good videos. Maybe we'll go do an AnyTube Digest stream at some point in the near future where we can do that. I wouldn't do that right now just because I don't have like a list offhand. I do try to keep up with on the channel page. If you go to like our home page, not like the video tab, but like the home main tab, I have toward the bottom a playlist or like channel list that I just put like I don't remember what I named it. It was like AnyTube channels that fuck or something. I don't remember. It's just basically just channels that I think are like make good content. It should be right under the ones that it's just like our guests that have been on the podcast. I don't remember what exactly it's called though.
How many of those still make videos?
I could not tell you. I been adding stuff on there for years. So, and also we don't have.
You been doing that more recently?
If I come across one, I'd try to. Yeah, I've not come across a lot.
That's like the thing too. Like we, for years now, consistently have like actively tried to seek out anime YouTube videos, and they just like you don't find them. It's impossible.
No. Well, they made it even harder now too. Because what I used to do was I would search up like anime analysis or anime review or like a specific show or something, and I would sort the search results specifically by like newest, like whatever they were upload, and I would filter by like the last week or 3 days or whatever it was, just so I could have like whatever just came out and go by, not necessarily go through whatever the YouTube algorithm was telling me I should watch, but like just whatever was like put out there. And they have removed that, where was it now it's only by most relevant and most popular. Like you can't even just do it by newest, it has to be relevant.
Search algorithms have gotten worse, but like to put things into perspective of how long we've been doing this, for the record, we've never really found any actually good videos. But I do remember like one of the very, very few times, the only time that I can remember that we actually found a video that was pretty good. It was when Hazel put out her video on Hibari-kun. I don't know how long that was ago.
I think we.
I don't think that video's up anymore, but that should tell you everything.
I mean, we've found good videos since then.
Have anything been at that level? When I say good, I mean like really good, and not like, oh yeah, that was okay.
We found I forget their channel name. I think
They're so good Swedish you couldn't even remember the name of their channel.
Well, it's because it was like,
and
not
if they
English.
were good, do they still make videos?
The one that you went and watched his biography, we found him that way.
Oh yeah. Anders. Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, we found him that way. Like that's how I found him. Like we found
Saint Leader.
Yeah, we found Saint Leader that way. Like we found some good content that way. It's just it's very few and far between.
Post Anders' channel in the chat and Saint Leader too. You can watch his videos not knowing Swedish, by the way. He's a Swedish guy. Some of his videos either are narrated in English, I believe, or have subtitles. I think he's more of a English subtitles kind of guy. But he makes really interesting videos.
Yeah,
and his documentary movie thing, Places That Were Anime to Me, which should be available on Blu-ray. I don't know if it's like international shipping on that or not. But that movie really, really blew me away.
Did we find Army anime through this, or was that just like something else?
Army anime?
Yeah. Makes videos mostly in Spanish and then sometimes
yeah, him.
I
really was in one of his videos
with names.
And we can tell. Well, he made a Some Days Dreamers 2 video. Hell yeah.
Someone mentioned Funebure. Fune's been around for a minute. He's been very busy the past couple of years. We fucking recorded something together. We were supposed to make something together like twice now, and then he got someone else, and then he didn't make those videos. Make them. I know you're busy, and I know that it's not going to pay off at all, but I want to see those videos. I want to see more videos from you. You're really good.
I want to see myself in a video.
I feel like that's the core of being a YouTuber. It's very Sisyphean, where you gotta imagine Sisyphus happy. You gotta be making videos and getting like less than 1,000 views and be happy. Spending countless hours making it.
Yeah, I mean, Fune was under 1,000 subscribers for the longest time. I don't think it was until like Storia's video that he broke 1,000. And you watch his videos, and like we don't deserve him. Like, he is at such a next level when it comes to like both presentation, but also like the concept of videos that he makes. It's not really just very straightforward. Let me talk about this anime. It had good music, and I would listen to it outside of the anime. Like, it's not like that. Like, it's really high concept and everything. He draws his own stuff, like insane. We don't deserve him.
KYDB has been doing pretty well as of late.
I'm going through the
KYDB. You know KYDB, right?
Oh yeah. I just didn't hear you. Yeah, KYDB.
Yes. Basically, since he started uploading videos on a more regular basis, I guess he delisted like his older videos, like the cockroach one.
I'm going through the list of channels. We found like channels like the Analog TV, which is an older channel.
Oh yeah.
A lot of these channels though are like dead.
Yeah, again, how many of those are dormant?
Yeah, they're dead. Remember that we found that we found Figamin through that with their Stop Hibari-kun video. the fucking banger, you can't stop Hibari-kun chant video name. Famicom Collectibles still does stuff. They make good content where it's not necessarily like anime specific. It's like art books and like manga content, but they make good shit.
This v that.
This v that. Like,
video did well.
We've found good content.
I have to bring up, like, we found these people years ago. At this point, true. There's been nothing new.
Very little new.
And even like the people in chat are mentioning, like Catgirl Research Society. Is that like a decade ago that guy made videos? Like, these are all good creators that chat is bringing up, but again, like, there's nothing new coming out really. Mimi Yori, I guess, like, Mimi Yori has been making videos for a couple of years now, I believe, but she's been like really kicking into gear like the past year or two, I want to say. She's been making really good videos, like very classic style anitube videos. She's sharp. She draws stuff for her videos, and her art style is really lovely. That's like
she makes
what comes to mind.
I don't know.
KYDB.
I don't know how many, like, there's not really many creators that are kind of like gaining traction, like as like a brand, in the same way like a Mimi Yori or something, right? Like, I feel like a lot of the channels that have content that does well, or like they have a video that kind of blows up, like it's very algorithmic, and that success does not translate to like a brand success. Like,
yeah,
I feel like a lot of the,
I don't know, back like 10 years ago, I feel like you like that was still the case, but you had more creators kind of popping up out of it because there was just a bit more demand for that kind of content, I guess, whereas now there's just kind of none. But also, like, the personality was not always necessarily the strong suit. Like, I'm a big fan of Suki Mello because she's someone who is very unabashed about like how she acts, and I want more of that in the anime community as a whole. But like, specifically on YouTube, like, how many people have we seen just doing the same thing that Demo did 10 years ago? Like, that same style of humor, which is basically like very adjacent to like Donkey as well.
I don't know if you see a lot of people that do that for a sustained period outside of Giguk and Scamboli, basically.
I mean, you have Kexi as well, which like I'm saying that because he would agree with me, and he has, like, I've talked to him about it. But like, if you go back and watch Kexi's old videos, he is like, it is just Scamboli, not Scamboli, freaking demo. Yeah, like he's very, very, almost like to the point of plagiarism. Very heavily influenced, to be nice about it. Again, like, he'd agree with me when I say all of that. But yeah, you have him. Scamboli doesn't even make videos anymore, does he?
No, we killed him.
We killed him. No, I think he's made like 2 videos since the Madoka one.
Has he?
I did see he made one.
He made an Osama ranking video 2 months ago, and then a Psychopaths video a year ago, and then a Devil May Cry video a year ago.
Yeah, but like a year ago, 2 months ago. Like nothing actually more recent. Like there are no like 2026 anime YouTubers.
No,
you've got Xenode on Taku on there. Yeah, I went through. I've found like people like they even had like some of them had like 20, 30 like subscribers or something. But
we had that whole we had that whole website that no longer exists now, but it was like a complete database, and then it stopped like updating it, maintaining it, and then I don't know what happened to that guy.
What was his name?
That one guy?
That one guy. Yeah. No, it wasn't that one guy.
No. That's
is your guy. Is your
guy. Yeah.
There's too many people with guy in their name.
Goddamn confusing.
I guess he got busy and he's gone or whatever. So it is what I don't know how many people actually use the website, unfortunately, outside of like
people liked it when we first posted it, but yeah. It was mostly
I feel like that was more of a like, well, I got recognized. I acknowledged, Senpai acknowledged me on a website, and then like after that, no one used it.
No.
Very unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, but again, I don't think anyone's really actively looking for new anitubers to watch.
Well, you can't really, is the thing. YouTube is not meant to be a searchable platform. It's meant to. You get recommended. You get the slop shoveled into your trough, and then you. That
was always the case, but it is becoming more so the case. Like that is definitely
also like something we haven't talked about yet. We definitely talked about it elsewhere on different videos and streams, but like anime YouTube like creators are also like the most undesirable people out of any community that I've ever seen. Like there are video game spaces that have like their own little like YouTube boogeymen, none to the same extent where like the very concept of someone who attempts to make videos on anime in any capacity, it doesn't matter if it's like more casual review or like someone who tries to make something a bit more high concept. Like the very thought of an anime YouTuber is poison to so many people. Maybe it's just a Twitter thing. Could be a Twitter thing.
I mean, there's a lot of people on Twitter.
It's a silent majority.
That is like the thing that bothers me a lot.
There's a very easily exploitable trend on Twitter where you just screenshot like a video, like the thumbnail and title, post it on Twitter, and then just say like, I'm not watching that, or you can't make me watch that.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that a little bit earlier, but that's a very big thing on Twitter. I had an idea, which again, like you don't make anything.
I had an idea to make like a fake video for that and post it on Twitter and see if anyone would actually notice, or if they would just like implicitly accept it, like the cattle they are. That's
the thing. Like, there's such like a weird bias against like anime content on YouTube, and it's one of those things where I don't know if I can blame it necessarily. Like it's one of those, it's like a pattern recognition thing where it's like, okay, there is a lot of bad anime content on YouTube, but it gets very frustrating because these people will like be very vocal about their opinion against like this anime content. And it's like, oh, well, would you watch it? And it's kind of like, well, no, I don't watch anime because it's all garbage. And it's like, well, then you don't really have a say. Which, in all fairness, anything.
Like so much of AniTube is so unbelievably, like unforgivably terrible.
Yeah, I mean, like, I recognize
bad
AniTubers
like, are so much worse than like so many other like parts of YouTube.
Yeah, I get it. Like, I understand that, but it's like if you aren't even gonna watch it, like they don't really have a choice. Like like there's no audience for somebody to like go and make something that's like a dissertation on social economics in Osama ranking or something. Like if you make your title that and then like your thumbnail is like something that's not clickbait or something, and it's just like fucking Boji at a fucking table doing math or something, I don't fucking know. No one's gonna click on that because there's no audience for it. And these people that like insist that, oh, I fucking hate like these terrible thumbnails and titles and shit. It's like, would you click on it if they made like a good video that didn't have that shit? And it's like, well, no, because AniTube sucks. It's like, well, then what do you want them to do about it? Like, if they market to you and they try to make content that you would enjoy, that you would click on, and you're not going to click on it anyway because you think anything that's on YouTube that's about anime is garbage, who the fuck are they going to make a video for?
And no one wants to be the change that they want to see either, because that would mean like becoming an anime YouTuber. And apparently that's just a fate worse than death.
Fate worse than death. Well, I feel like a lot of people just don't really have a lot to say to begin with. So.
Well, yeah, but again, you know, ideally you'd want to see people put their money where their mouth is.
No.
But have you heard of this thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect?
Yes.
I think I've heard it in passing.
Yeah, it's a popular theory. Keeps being proven right time and time again. No one makes it past like the peak of Mount Stupid. Like the peak of Mount Stupid, that's where everyone gets into making content. And if they ever get into like the Valley of Despair, that's like where everyone quits and they don't bother even attempting trying to really get any better so that they can make something like truly enlightening.
The average AniTuber is not able to make a dissertation on socioeconomics of Osama ranking. I mean, I think that's fine. The thing about AniTube is like it is a very amateurish space, right? Like it is supposed to be, at least in like concept of it, it's supposed to be like people who are actually fans and have like a desire to learn more about the medium that they are enjoying, kind of learning things on their own and then kind of putting out content to help people kind of start their own journey and adding to the discussion. I think a lot of people view content on YouTube or whatever as like the product as opposed to something that's supposed to facilitate discussion. Yeah, there are people who can make content that is like kind of the end all be all of like a subject matter or whatever. I think that's good. I don't necessarily think all AniTube content has to be that. And the problem is, I feel like a lot of people view content as it should be that way, even though most of the people that are making content can't do that. I think it would be fine if someone made like a socio-economic dissertation on fucking Osama ranking or whatever, and then just kind of did it in their own way with their own research, and it might be haphazard and it might not be great, but like putting that effort into something and kind of like presenting it in such a way that is encouraging people to kind of look more into these things and kind of build on that discussion. I think that is a good thing. I think that should be what people strive for as far as like content creation on it in the anime space. But people just kind of, if you've gone all or nothing, where it's like either you can make like the end all be all encompassing discussion, 10-hour long fucking diatribe on every single detail of a show, or you just don't try and you make the funny man content. Like there's no in between. Like there's not really the space for like, hey, you should talk about this thing that might be kind of interesting. Maybe someone else might have something better like to add, but maybe they're just not seeing it, or maybe they haven't thought about it in the same way or whatever.
Which I don't think that can ever really be the case at a larger scale, really. Maybe with like some classics, that's not to say that like content or commentary around like Akira, for example, is always the most highbrow analysis you will ever see in the anime space. But I think much like in, say, music and film, like the classics is generally where you find consistently the most attempt at like more proper analysis, whereas like newer, more fresh stuff like is very reactionary, which is also a very big problem in general. Just like not really thinking about the things you watch, and instead just kind of, I mean, that's just Twitter, like just blurting out whatever is your first thought at everything, and you try to give your thoughts about every single topic ever.
Yeah. How many people who watch anime went to college or university so they can talk about fictional politics and anime? I don't think that you have to have gone to college. Like, obviously, yeah, it would be beneficial, but like you can research stuff on your own. Like, there are people who went to college that are gonna like do some fucking. I'm sure. Moon Channel is a good example of that. Moon Channel went to college. Moon Channel went to university. He learned quite a bit about stuff that has somewhat to do with analyzing media. I don't think that necessarily translated to making the best analysis of anime specifically. And I think that that's something that could be solved with more just reading into stuff on your own terms. But it's just there's a lack of curiosity, essentially. Like, I think people think that you, and I understand it in a way, because I felt the same way in a different capacity, where I didn't want to make content for the longest time until I felt like I had seen a comfortable amount of shows where I felt comfortable talking about stuff. Specific, like the arbitrary number, I was like, okay, well, when I watch 1,000 anime, I will have seen a comfortable amount of shows where I can feel comfortable talking about different aspects of it or whatever. And I think you quickly realize that sort of mentality does not really favor anybody who is making content, because the more you almost become like too overqualified in a way, in the sense that like you making content becomes an obstacle to yourself, because you're so much more aware of like the nuance of what is being said, or like any statements that you would be making, that you become, there's almost like a sense of like choice paralysis in a way, where you will get hung up on writing a video and making sure you say it in the correct way.
Okay, now I think this is just projection.
It is a little bit, but like this again, this goes back to what I was saying at the beginning, where it's like people that
no, I understand
don't
what
care
you mean.
about
I
that.
have that too.
Yeah, it's like people that don't understand about that or don't care about that are going to make more shit than you are, and they're going to be more successful because you're more worried about making a video that is saying the right thing, or is providing a service or something, and they're not. They're just worried about putting content out there, and that's what builds. Unfortunately, that builds more of a relationship to your audience than someone that is like going out of their way and like researching stuff. So,
and that goes into what I was saying before as well, where like you have to be you have to be making an effort into making videos in order to get better at like making videos, obviously. But if you are making videos and you're trying to get better, and maybe you're getting better, but like you're not getting the views to make it anything even slightly sustainable, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Again, I've been at this point for years now, and I don't even feel all that like super confident in myself. I think I'm good. I don't suck for sure. But like I could be still so much better. There's always so much to learn, so much to get better at. I suck at like motion graphics. I can't do it for shit. Always so much more to learn. But like I'm turning 26 in less than a month, in a few weeks.
Oh, you're fucking getting so old. Washed. You're so washed.
I'm so washed. Over. I'm old. I'm fucking
26. You're basically dead. Holy
basically
shit.
Dead. I'm moving out in a few weeks. Like just at some point it just feels like a childish dream to like keep chasing. So like keep wanna be making YouTube videos. And like maybe it's just because I'm really gloomy and bitter about things and pretty much always have been. But like the only reason I'm really even continuing is because I don't really see anything else like for myself. I see myself as a very kind of boring person. And this is just how I get myself to be excited, is I want to try to push myself. I don't care too much about establishing a ton of connections with people and just having like conversation. I want to be putting my thoughts into videos and let my art speak for itself.
There has to be a sustainable
more and
more
ground. Like you can just go on Twitter and like spout all of your thoughts and opinions on there, and like you'll probably get more engagement that way.
There has to be a sustainable middle ground between mass-produced garbage and a PhD dissertation every 2 years. So the issue is not necessarily that you're going to make a PhD dissertation. I've been running into this more trying to make like TikTok stuff, because I'm like, oh, this is something that I can like try to shit out pretty quickly, and you know, being in the space that I am, I feel like I have something somewhat more valuable to say, even if it's just like something that's kind of off the cuff. But the problem is when the more you know you don't know, essentially. And so the more that you will feel the need to go and like look into something like, oh, should I like put this? Because like, what's a good example? Like if someone's like, oh, and new anime sucks or something, just as like a random off topic example, whatever. And you're like, no, I don't think new anime sucks. I think it might be an issue with this. And then like, you might try to start talking about it. You're like, well, I should probably look into what I'm saying and like, just make sure I'm not wrong as far as like these numbers or whatever. So you look at the numbers, you're like, well, I should probably put that graph on screen since I'm looking at it anyway. And like, it was something that took the person that was you're responding to, or the person that the general take that you're responding to, that someone would have taken like 2 minutes to shit out, you have now taken like 20-30 minutes just like making sure you kind of got all your ducks in a row and stuff. And that is not kind of where it ends. Like it is something that continuously happens where like you feel the need to like bring up another subject because you're like, oh well, I know something that kind of relatively ties back into this whole subject, and so I should bring that into this because it's relevant or whatever. Like it kind of never ends. So like if you ever make like a video, I feel like I run into this a lot with when I make like a video essay or something, like the fucking Shibatsu train one that I've been working on for fucking ever, that I've now running into the issues of like presentation, but
that I've been bullying you to make for 2 years now.
Yeah, but you will find so many different rabbit holes that you go down. You have to stop yourself and you have to be like, okay, this video has to end somewhere. Like this stuff is interesting, but like you can't literally encompass the entirety of everything about this work. Like you have to just let it be unfinished somewhere and let other people fill it in for themselves, kind of thing.
Or expand upon it later.
Yeah, you can always come back to it, but like Are you likely to? No, you probably won't want to come back to it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I need to focus on writing your argument and then learn where to cut. Yeah.
Serial Navel Gazer says, genuinely trying to improve anime discourse with YouTube videos is a childish pipe dream I can never fully believe in again. Which that sucks too, because it's like such a defeatist mentality. But like, and again, there is still so much more to say, so much more to do. But how long can people realistically keep things up for a thing that has little to no demand? And even the people who would be interested in such a thing, you know, a lot of those are on the side of, you know, anime is cringe, anime YouTuber is cringe. Excuse me. They all suck. It's all worthless. Like, let's not even like try to bother. And again, that's probably just a vocal minority thing on Twitter. If you put out good videos, then you will get comments that are nice and positive and encouraging. It will happen. But again, if you like, I've spent like 9 months, half a year on videos. For me to put that out and get less than 100K views, and some of the comments acknowledge the video, most of them don't. It's like, okay, well, I think like I've grown, but like no one is really pushing me to do better either. This is something that Star talked about. Star underscore, now Stir, used to make TF2 videos, used to stream Overwatch, famous guy, friends with Germa. He made a video a few years ago about how like people would only watch his videos if it was about TF2. No matter the amount of effort that he put into his videos, no one expected or wanted better from him. They were just like, oh, we don't care about like what you make. We'll be there no matter what. But then like they're not. They just don't show up when you try to like challenge yourself a little bit. And then when you do put out some, you know, the safe content that people are expecting, then they don't expect any better from you. So that's more of a dilemma that I have, is I want more people to challenge me, because when I talk to other people, I'm always like very critical because I want the best for other people. Like the comment section and other YouTubers, like there's a huge problem in being a yes man, to like not hurt somebody's feelings. But like sometimes you just have to be real with people if what they have is simply a bad idea. And when I say that, like the concept itself may or may not be a bad idea. You know, you can have a good idea for a thing, but like if you're putting in so much more effort into making that thing than what it is realistically going to make back, then you're not going to make it for too long. And again, like I'm only still making videos because I like making videos. That's where my passion is, which even then, like I enjoy video editing. I don't think I'm a very good writer. I try, but that's definitely not my forte. It's another thing to try to get better at. But like no one pushes me to do better. Very, very few people give me like writing advice that is actually like useful and applicable to me. And most of the people who give me advice is like my own friends who like I'm critical towards them because that's just the kind of person that I am. And I feel like I facilitate that sort of reaction back to me because of the kind of person that I am. Which I appreciated. Yeah. It's good. That's what I want. But again, like what I'm talking about more generally, broadly speaking, is that there is so little effort from everyone's part in like trying to critique other people to make sure that they are being the best versions of themselves that they can be. No one wants to be that version of themselves. Everyone just kind of wants to sit comfortably in their own little bubble until they either burn out or eventually, like with a lot of these older people, like they just like switch over to Twitch eventually and just kind of enter the retirement home.
Twitch retirement home. I think what the problem is like getting people to engage with something critically to begin with. Like the kind of content I make, I try to just encourage people to start engaging with anime critically, like the things that they are already watching and then already showing like an interest in, more so than trying to push for people to engage with my content critically. Because like that almost just seems like a pipe dream, or just
ideally it should be both.
It should be both ideally. People should be able to engage with both, but like if you're going to pick a struggle, I feel like the easier struggle would be to try to get people to engage with the things that they're already engaging in critically than try to engage in something new critically. As far as like, improving anime discourse being a pipe dream, I think that's almost the wrong way to look at it in a way. I try to look at it. I don't think any of the content that we make is going to make like a sizable impact on the way that people engage with in discussion or whatever. But I think it can make a sizable impact with a certain number of people and how they engage with discussion. And I think that's kind of just where you have to, your headspace has to be at. Like you can't, it's one of those things where it's like you kind of have to clean your own room before you try clean the house of other people kind of thing or whatever, right? Like you can't try to change the entirety of the space when you're not getting the traction even to like do a lot in your own sphere, like your just immediate sphere. So it's just a matter of just narrowing the scope down. I know I'm late, but I see a lot of people that are making anime videos, but a lot of them, the good ones anyway, don't get more than a couple thousand views anymore. That kind of goes back to what we were talking about, where it's like you kind of just get a video that pops off, but like people don't stick around for. And to be fair, I wonder how much the people who do make like good content, like really insightful, kind of like interesting, air quotes, academic content or whatever. Like I do wonder how many of those people make content in such a way that is like conducive to building a audience or brand or something like that. I don't think a lot of those people that are in that space really care to do that. And I think in other spaces there is more room, or at least there's more of an audience to build a brand around that anyway. But as far as in the anime space, it sucks because like as big as anime has been getting, you would hope or you would think that like there would be more of an audience who would be interested in that sort of thing. But
it's strange too, because like I've talked to John about this. Sorry for cutting you off, but like John, famous fossil, we've had him on stream, and I think we've had him on stream on some podcasts. Mercury Falcon is what most people know him as. He's said to me many times that like millennials were really bad about giving like older anime a shot. Nowadays, I feel like that dichotomy is kind of gone. You do see more younger people getting into older anime, and like 2000s like aesthetics have become really popular, and there's a lot of people who were around back in the day who pined for those quote unquote golden years or whatever. And you have a lot of newer generations getting into like that sort of aesthetic. But like the otaku aesthetic to me is very tied to, the very stereotypical idea of an otaku, like the kind of guys you see in Otaku no Video, or just people with like massive collections of merchandise, very extensive knowledge about certain shows, maybe like staff to an extent. It seems like only the aesthetic part has really like stuck with people, which is strange because like Trixie did a good job of sort of embodying that kind of character back in her prime. I don't watch her anymore, so I can't speak for what she does now. But like, circa 2016, whatever, she was that person basically, or at least that's how she appeared to a lot of people. And like having that sort of figure, I guess like Hazel would be a more modern example of that. And people really love Hazel. Both of them have incredibly dedicated fandoms around them, fan bases. But like, it feels like, again, that sort of idea of an otaku hasn't really been too much in the public consciousness. It doesn't have to be like in the public consciousness. Like people who know about JJK don't need to know what that is, and I don't think that's ever really been the case. Like you had the step below that 20 years ago where a lot of people were into Haruhi, like Kyoto Animation, Azumanga Daioh, like that flavor of anime. Those were usually leaning more towards that side than like the Toonami boomers who liked Cowboy Bebop.
I have talked about this with my brother. Also, people are saying that they're hearing me echo, but I don't hear you on the call. I don't know if that's just a ninja thing or whatever. But I was talking about this where there's not really a sort of shared niche anymore, like shared space. Like there was I feel like 20 years ago there was, you had like that kind of space where like Haruhi would reference Ace Attorney, or in Lucky Star would reference Haruhi, like shit like that. Like there was kind of like more of a wider understanding. Like people were just kind of expected to watch more things, whereas I don't feel like there's that expectation now.
But even then, like Lucky Star like has always been like a staple show that people would give a try. Nowadays it's like a little bit more niche down, where like the anime core people on TikTok are into it, but like there are still a lot of younger people who watch Lucky Star. And you mentioned before,
well, yeah, but I'm talking about like not necessarily going back and watch. I mean, like there's not really that shared space. Like there's not really a shared core amount of shows in any given time that people are kind of all expected to be kind of gravitating toward. Like the closest to that would just be the same thing as what like Naruto or Bleach or whatever was 20 years ago. But you don't really have that kind of like otaku space in the same way you did 20, because like again 20 years ago you had that space where people were kind of watching Code Geass or Gurren Lagann or Lucky Star or Haruhi, and like they would make these references to things outside of anime that people would be interested in and stuff, and you don't really get that anymore.
Well, that's
like,
where I'm getting at
space.
Is like even in this niche space where you have a bunch of people who love Lucky Star, like Lucky Star talks about moe in the show. It talks about Comic Head in the show. But like have you seen people talk about like, this is what Comic Head is, this is what moe is? It feels like those concepts are dead in terms of like people don't talk about it anymore in a way that is actually trying to introduce people to it. Like nowadays it's mostly like people don't even know what moe is anymore. All of these friggin' larpers, the fucking posers.
Well, do people even talk about moe anymore? Like I think the last thing I saw was Twitter was saying like, oh, they can't make moe like this anymore or something, and I was like, that just fundamentally doesn't understand what moe means.
Yeah, and people have always been bad about like what even is moe. But like that's kind of been erased from our lexicon.
But
to my knowledge,
I think that's just a natural consequence because like we are behind Japanese anime culture, right? Like we are downstream from Japanese anime culture. So when moe became part of our lexicon more early 2010s or so to mid 2010s, when moe was kind of like at its peak, that was already when moe kind of had fallen off. Like when they referenced or when they talked about moe in Densha Otoko, that is kind of directly cited as the moment where moe became like a normie thing or whatever in Japan. Like people stopped. It became something that wasn't like interesting or cool to talk about. And so it fell out of fashion where like even when Lucky Star came out, that's kind of 2-3 years after Densha Otoko. That's kind of like on the tail end of when people would have been kind of more using that regularly.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Star was always on Comedia.
Yeah, so it makes sense that like we're not hearing people talk about as much anymore, at least in like media and stuff like that, because it's not really being brought up as much in anime. But like I don't know, people like Draw This and Die this season is talking about Kamatia, which I don't know how much
Kamatia.
Yeah, Kamatia. It's whatever. Comedia.
Have you not watched fucking Overworked Salaryman? Also good YouTuber. Watch Salaryman. I edit his videos and he makes very good videos. I'm always very giddy and excited to get something new from him because he's very insightful, makes videos on more than just anime. He makes like video game industry videos as well, which is very fascinating, great perspective, and he's been in it for a while now, a few years, and he's still going strong. Do watch his videos.
Do you think there's a future for anime discourse to move to academia? I don't know how much of a future there is for academia, like if we're like black pill wise. As far as like moving anime discourse to that space, I wouldn't be familiar enough with it to be able to say yes or no. Or
there have been attempts at like talking about anime in academia for decades. You know, Jonathan Clements, Helen McCarthy, they're from the UK. They put out the anime encyclopedia in 2001, a week before or after 9/11, as they would say. And for way longer than that. You had journalists in like Animerica, a bunch of anime magazines. I don't know how like actually popular they were because, you know, I didn't grow up in America. We had our own like anime magazine, Manga Mania, I believe it's called. I didn't have that either, so I don't know how actually popular it was. But you know, these things did exist. So if people wanted to get deeper into anime, that was another like good avenue to like learn more about things.
Yeah, there's plenty of academic sources.
Not that the magazines are like academia, but you know, just the idea of learning more about anime, which that also is like probably easier than ever now because you have a ton of interviews being posted on like Anime News Network and like Crunchyroll does a lot of interviews. Like you have a lot of avenues for that right now, but I don't know how much of that is actually being utilized.
Saying that moe fell out of the conversation because moe is an eternally relevant concept because of its foundational philosophical concept and always applicable. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it necessarily has fallen out in terms of like understanding in Japan, at least. I think we're running into an issue with there being an influx of new people and it not being as relevant of a topic, so there's less people that kind of understand moe as a concept in the West, at least. I don't know how much that carries over in Japan. I'm sure there are people that are getting into stuff that's not being talked about as moe as much, so they don't understand it as much in Japan as well, but that seems to be more of like a Western sort of focused issue. Yeah, Chat GPT. I mean, AI is its own fucking AI is also a large issue of content creation in general in this space.
It's a large problem in life.
Yeah. I don't know how many fucking videos we've clicked on searching like the newest thing, like, oh, just what is the most recently uploaded video, and it's AI slop, AI summary.
Yeah, just a lot of like AI plot summary videos from like Thailand for some reason.
Yeah, I don't really know what the future holds for anime content. Like, it seems very bleak. I mean, there's obviously things could always change. I don't think it necessarily is like a work of like a Herculean effort to have something change in a positive direction. I think aren't they like cracking down on like AI content in some capacity on YouTube?
I think
I saw the Jax Films video. He did show an article saying that YouTube was trying to crack down on like faceless AI channels, which is good. Like, that's definitely a very good step forward. I don't know if it's anything that we can fully recover from now that like this technology is as widely available as it is. It's still very strange to me how AI has been such a prominent thing for so many years now, and there's like, are there like any like real regulations around it still, or is it still like a Wild West?
No, yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah. If anything, no, I think I remember hearing something along the lines of like ChatGPT went rogue or something and then started fucking with other stuff. And like they were like, oh, whoops. I mean, our AI is so good it could destroy the world. And it's like, oh, okay, then. I think there's now like a bill in Congress or something to like give the government power to basically shut down any AI model if it poses a risk to national security, which also just sounds like the start of a like a sci-fi novel. It sounds like the start of the end of the world.
Like, filmmakers and writers and novelists and authors have been warning us about this very moment for decades upon decades and decades, and now we're just in it.
Yeah, we're just in it.
We didn't learn.
I'd rather watch your poorly worded, weirdly edited video with smacked audio than some AI slop. You're the minority, unfortunately.
I mean,
like,
I'd rather watch neither. I'd rather watch a good video.
I talked about this on like the Patreon section of like a previous podcast episode, where I am not wholesale against the use of like AI to like narrate a video. You know, maybe you have a speech impediment, maybe English is not your first language and you talk with you have a very thick accent, or maybe you are just, you know, mute even, you know.
I'm not even against using AI as like almost like an editor, like a pass through. Like, you write your script and then like maybe it like helps you like tweak some things. You just, I think you need to be careful as far as not letting it rewrite too much, because it's just going to turn it into like AI slop if you let it. But
yeah, it can become very generic very quickly. So I do think that there's applications there. I mean, there are nonetheless still ethical concerns in terms of like okay, you're using your AI to narrate your video for you because you are unable to for whatever reason. But then it's like, well, that AI was trained on like unethically sourced or stolen in a sense, like audio clips and the like, in order to like have the ability to generate that audio, and then like that's playing into like all the concerns with like data centers and the like there are still problems with it, but if there was a use case, like I feel like that would be like a clear one, even though there are still problems. The issue with that though is that it's important to disclose that though, because it can also function as a breach of trust, where it's like, well, you're using AI to generate your video, to like narrate your video. How do I know you didn't use it to like generate your script wholesale?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. Where we're at now, if I hear AI narration, I just assume it's AI shit.
That's not.
If I see generative AI in any way, shape, or form, I just like expect it to be a scam. Has AI been used, like largely speaking, in any capacity other than scamming people? I'm sure like some people use AI voices for like narration, which even then, TTS has been a thing for decades.
Yeah,
it's not like we didn't have that before.
People make isn't the whole Kirkification thing possible? Like, isn't that just like an AI thing? Yeah.
I remember talking to probably shouldn't say who it is actually. I was talking to a YouTuber, and I think they said that like Charlie Kirk has been fed into so many different AI programs that at this point, like every piece of generative AI has like a little bit of Charlie Kirk in it, and I found that really funny.
That's his immortal. That's his legacy.
We're carrying the flame, baby.
Yeah.
See, now that's an interesting concept for a sci-fi novel. He lives on.
I wonder
how he lived after he died.
I wonder why people always complain that new anime looks the same, but when it comes to shows like The World Is Dancing come out, no one talks about it because people don't watch anime. Like, that's the thing when people complain about like if you're making sweeping generalization statements and you're like all anime is shit or all anime looks the same, you don't know what you're talking about, and so you're not watching the shit and you're just making assessments wholesale based on vibes. So of course they're not going to talk about The World Is Dancing because they're not watching, and they just don't watch anime.
To give them some credence, I think when they're talking about like uniqueness in art style, I think they're talking about uniqueness specifically. I mean, it's always like the same handful of different shows that have like a cool aesthetic from the 90s that they yonder for.
So they okay. I saw this when we were doing the thing, when I was reading the director commentary stuff in I think it's FLCL Click with Suramaki. He's specifically talking about how he was wanting to buck with Fully Coolly. He was kind of wanting to buck the trend of like this realism that was kind of the popular thing in otaku circles from like the late 80s through the 90s, with specifically with things like Ghost in the Shell, Pat Liber 2, stuff like that, and kind of the attention he was kind of wanting to showcase with Fully Coolly. He was talking about how he wanted to showcase how expressive and like off-model animation could look good. Not everything had to be like a realism sort of art aesthetic. The thing is like that was an aesthetic. That was not all anime, right? Like, and we know this, like we fucking watch stuff from the 80s and 90s enough that we know there's a different art style, but like people basically latched on to this subset of this art style that like people liked in this very specific period of time. And they're like, oh, this is what anime used to look like. It's like, no, that's what some anime looked like. That's not what anime period looked like. Like, there was way more aesthetics going on than just fucking Ghost in the Shell and Fat Liber 2, like just Mamoru Oshii shit. Like, This is not the only anime that was coming out.
If they were saying like, we don't have enough like Gekiga style animation anymore, then maybe they'd have a point. I don't watch enough new anime to really know if that is as prominent anymore. We just put out the first 3 episodes of Trident of the Sea. Pretty good show, pretty good. Tomino's directorial debut, and you can definitely tell that it's by Tomino. But that has definitely some like Gekiga influences. Maybe it's just like one animator doing those like cuts that look like Gekiga. But it's a really cool and impactful effect, even to this day. Mazinger had some of that. That was one of the few things that I did like about Mazinger.
Yeah, but I feel like that
was like a natural movement.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like a natural progression of like time. Like
there's not a movement that we're like, we need more anime to specifically look like Yu Yu Hakusho. Let's make more anime in the style of Togashi. Like that's not a thing.
I would like, even with the amount of shows that are, you can maybe argue are derivative, like aesthetically of each other. Like maybe like Love Unseen Beneath the Clear Sky, Night Sky, or whatever, and what is that fucking show called in English? The Rich Girl Caretaker and The Childhood Friend won the season, and then like maybe fucking Joe-sama's Don't Play Fighting Games or whatever. Like maybe between all of those, yeah, there are a number of shows that look pretty similar aesthetically. But also in the same season, you have stuff like Jadagar, the Ghost in the Shell remake, Eureka Africa. I don't know how you fucking pronounce that one. Smoking Behind the Supermarket, Sayonara Lara. Like you have so many different like art styles. Like even if there are like some that have an overlap as far as aesthetics, like there's so much like variety that I really don't understand when people are like, oh, anime looks bad, all anime looks the same. Like what are you watching? Like, are you just watching Mushoku Tensei and Yujo Senki? Like, is that the only 2 shows you're watching this season? Like, even they look pretty different from one another, but
I don't know if you were specifically into like mecha anime, then maybe, because those don't really get made a ton anymore. And like mechanical animation, again, I don't watch newer anime as much, but I think that probably peaked in the 80s. Like that's where the interest in that sort of mechanical animation was at its highest, I want to assume. And I'm sure it's still, there are still people who specialize in that kind of animation, and it still exists in some shows, but OVAs aren't really a thing, so you're never really going to get like an OVA with a bunch of specialized like mechanical animators like those old like Gundam OVAs, War in the Pocket and whatnot.
I think that's the thing people don't necessarily understand in regards to anime production, is that anime production is an industry-wide thing. Like there's a reason, like they all kind of conform to the same business standards outside of like a small handful of studios, like a Kyoto Animation or something. And even then they are not far off. But that's why anime as industry works the way it does, and why there's so much overlap with the studios where like they will just do key animation for another studio or whatever while they're working on another project kind of thing, because they are all kind of constructed as a model in the same way. When you don't have like, given that you don't have a lot of animators that are working on these like hyper detailed mechanics anymore like you did 20, 30 years ago. It would be really hard for them to just have that be a thing again. Like you would have to like almost train people up to be able to animate like that. Again, essential, like in any kind of meaningful way.
No, mecha anime is all 3D. I love 3D. I love the 3D like mecha look. I think that's cool. I still wish, you can say whatever you want about 3D. I still wish there were more like 3D anime being made that like really embraces the technology and format that it's being made in. What you showed me of that Bang Dream show that you didn't like very much, I thought it looked really cool. I
think the newest one looks pretty good. Yeah.
I'd love for more of that stuff. Girl Span Cry, obviously. Like, I want more of that stuff because it's like a new cool thing. And I think even for like, I'd love more like 3D magical girl shows, like a 2D magical girl transformation sequence. I don't think anything can really beat that, but like having a dynamic camera would make that process a lot easier. And I don't know, I want more niche shows like that being made.
I mean, you're getting Inoshi directed Vodum's movie trilogy. We're getting another Pat Liber project. I mean, we're getting more mecha stuff.
Yeah, it's all unk slop though. Like it's nostalgia bait.
We got Bang Braver not super long ago, and that was pretty successful.
Yeah.
Kind of more super robot than people really liked 86. I've still not got around to watching it, but
I will say in regards to like remakes, I do find it really funny how people complain about remakes now. Cause like you look through like anime history and even like
I wish they would remake Yu Yu Hakusho.
Do not even get me started. You look like in the 80s and you get like Sally remake, Akko remake, like so many remakes.
Or is that
Astro Boy? No, that's the 80s show.
Okay.
You have a ton of these shows being remade because the generation of people who watched the original Astro Boy and Akko and Sally and whatnot, they grew up and had kids and they wanted to watch the shows that they grew up with on TV with their children, but then like, make it more modern so that their children can enjoy it. Because like, TikTok attention span in the 80s, it's always been increasing.
I mean, now everyone's attention spans are decreasing because of TikTok.
Decreasing, I mean.
Yeah.
No, that's what I mean. Like, children with more technology, like video games, progressively, like they're always going to have less of an attention span. I swear to God, like, hearing people complain about like, oh, these kids nowadays, they get given an iPad when they come out of their mother's womb and that's just what they grew up on. This generation's cooked. Like, motherfucker, let's not pretend that the generation before that weren't like chronically playing their DS, and then before that it was the GBA, and then before that it was the Game Boy with Pokemon. Pokemon's always been a constant, and before that, etc., etc. Like, video games really cooked people.
And now you're getting that with fucking Mr. Beast editing and shit. So, like,
you have people watching Mr. Beast videos, playing video games. Video games are bad. Is what I'm saying.
I don't know if video games are bad necessarily, but
video games are bad and evil, and they make you stupid. They shorten your attention span.
I've been saying this. I've just been like shiny hunting this entire time.
Oh, I'm watching Full Moon right now. I think
What the fuck are
Mumi's
y'all
playing Mecha
watching shit?
Chameleon.
No, I'm not playing anything. I didn't want to play Becca Chameleon. I was doing that for the stream, but like apparently we didn't want to stream that. So,
oh, so you're saying I could have been playing TF2 this entire time, and then someone could have dropped a slur in chat and gotten the whole stream taken down?
No, my God.
I mean, that'd be cool.
I could always just crop it. I would just like crop the stream so that you cannot see like the in-game chat.
Or I could just turn it off.
Oh, true.
I mean, you could have been streaming me playing Mecha Chameleon this whole time.
We should have all like combined everything. So like, I don't know which Pokemon game you're streaming, but if you're playing,
he can't stream that because he'd have to use a camera on my DS.
Yeah. Or, like I have to like set up a capture card.
I was gonna say somehow. Like if you get like a DS setup, that's like a vertical thing. So that's gonna be like the Subway Surfers, and then you can just like squish Mecha Chameleon and Team Fortress 2. So there's like 3 games being played simultaneously for the maximum amount of what's it called?
Yeah, I'm just playing Pokemon Crystal.
Simulation.
Dopamine. Can you do an Among Us stream? I never. I never actually played Among Us.
I think I played it once, like 6 years ago.
What are we getting of TikTok? I don't know. I feel like I've been trying to like get put into the good algorithm on TikTok if there is one.
If there is one.
If there is.
Nice caveat.
Listen,
there's not really a good algorithm for TikTok if you want like discussion. Even like I'm thinking like for my feed is mostly like it's a lot of like leftist political stuff because like America's, you know, going crazy right now, and it's I want to have like a general understanding of what's going on in the world, but like a lot of that is also kind of a little bit hive mindy. I mean, it's stuff that I generally agree with, but a lot of them do feel like just kind of other people regurgitating other people's opinions, or like just saying the obvious thing over and over again. Like, yes, we need another person talking about Trump spending like $16 million on the reflection pool or whatever. Like, I understand that's content, and just talking about the Epstein files over and over again is not going to generate the same kind of interest because, you know, you're talking about the same thing over and over again. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like there are different priorities right now. I don't think Trump making a fool out of himself again, like shitting his pants, is necessarily the most valuable thing to cover other than just getting views. But that's just me.
I mean, the problem is that you need to be on camera to be popular. See, I'm talking about, I'm trying to get like recommended good content on TikTok, not necessarily I want to be recommended as good content. Those are two separate statements. But I mean, I don't even necessarily know if that is necessarily the case. I think that definitely helps for sure. It probably is the case. I feel like it's more of a matter of how regularly or how quickly you can produce things even if you're not on camera. And like I don't know if I'm, even if I went on camera, I don't know if I'd be able to produce things very fast, because I feel like I would just like feel the need to rewrite and I need to say this, but I need to say it concisely in a way that like I get all the things I want to talk about out in this 3-minute TikTok short. You have to look good to be popular. Yeah, no. That's the problem.
I'm on the full moon episode where Shizue Oda appears.
No.
Anybody remember the full moon? Shizue Oda?
Nobody remembers full moon. No one's watched full moon. Where do you think we are?
Never mind. She's the voice of Sana, I believe. Sana Kurata. That's a TikTok show.
Laura Bailey?
Yeah, Laura Bailey. She's in Full Moon.
To be fair, I don't know if you necessarily need to look good to be popular on TikTok. I guess it depends on what you define as popular. I don't think
that's a big misunderstanding. You don't need to be like a looks maxer to be popular on TikTok. You just have to kind of appear authentic and say like the popular thing that people like want to hear, essentially. I mean, you can try to make content in your own way, and maybe that is what a lot of these people do, and they just happen to line up well with what is popular. Same thing with what's on YouTube. That is just a lot of people's mode of consumption. Really, it's just like my sort of standards and how I view things that's like really twisted. So I'm not really a good authority on that. But I see a lot of, again, it could be because I'm more on like the left side of TikTok and I don't follow like models, but you do see a ton of people pushing back on like the unrealistic beauty standards set by like Hollywood, like K-pop, stuff like that. Like a lot of TikTok is pretty woke.
Well, yeah, TikTok. I mean, that's irrelevant to the fact of the quality of the stuff that's on there. But yeah, I see a lot of people that I don't know if they would necessarily be classified as conventionally attractive, that have pretty large accounts on there. I don't think that's necessarily a factor in what makes you popular on there. I think it's just a matter of shitting out a lot of content that will put you in algorithms and put you in searches. I think that's the main factor.
What you say just needs to resonate with people.
Yeah, in some way, like whether or not you're just pandering or if you're saying something that's actually resonant or whatever, but
it's still like whether you're pandering or not, like if people like what you hear, then they generally tend to stay.
Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of the people that I see are very average, at least.
There are swaths of TikTok anime accounts that are just dudes who reply to their comments all day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a different beast.
I feel like we've traded like years spent being an anime fan in exchange of like the amount of reach that you have. Again, it's the sort of influencer mindset, which I really like. Something that Todd in the Shadows said about Alex Warren is like he doesn't like the term influencer because that means like you can't even pass yourself off as being entertaining enough to call yourself an entertainer. So being an influencer is like influencing people not to work, which I think is a very apt way of putting it. But you see so many people that have like a huge following and then like they're just spouting a bunch of complete bullshit.
Yeah.
Which again is the same kind of shit that people were saying a decade ago when analytical or videos that try to make a point were able to succeed on YouTube.
But that's now, what I'm saying.
Like you don't even need to have seen a lot of anime.
YouTube.
Yeah.
It is funny seeing like all the hot take because like there's like I feel like the meta on TikTok is different. Because like there's just like hot take accounts where people will just go interview people at conventions and then post like the quote unquote hot takes, and then people will then respond to those hot takes on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
It's funny seeing the hot takes where people some guy was like, you have to have watched 500 anime for your opinion to matter or something. And like, first off, it's a shitty opinion. it's like you don't need to watch 500 anime for your opinion to matter. But I understand like the general place where it's coming from. But then like the people's reaction is just like 500 anime. That's insane. How could anyone watch 500 anime? It's like, wait, what?
What?
Not that much. So guys like, I will never watch 500 anime in my life. I've seen like 12 anime. And I'm like, oh, I mean,
it is a lot if you've only been into anime for like a year or two. You know, no one has seen 500 anime in that time. But like the longer you're into anime, like you get to the point where like, oh, 500 anime, that seems impossible. And then you reach it and you're like, oh, I'm the shit. But then like you keep going and you're like, I've seen however many I've seen, what, a couple thousand, whatever.
It's like a, it's again, it's one of those things where it's like, you don't know what you don't know. And when you know what you don't know kind of thing, where it's like, if you haven't, when you're at the stage that they're at,
effect again.
The Dunning-Kruger effect. When you're at the stage that they're at, 500 seems like an impossible amount because you've only seen like 12. And those 12 are like One Piece and Naruto and Dragon Ball. And you're like, how am I going to watch 500 of these? And it's not until like you branch out, which is ironically what this person was saying in their little hot take where they're like, you need to watch 500 anime so you see the breadth of anime or whatever to have an opinion. That is ironically exactly what they were saying. But people will be like, how am I supposed to watch 500,000 episode series? Like you're not. And most of those are like 12 episodes.
Yeah, I think that's a good point as well. Because like realistically, when they say you need to have seen 500 anime, it's like, okay, 512 episode anime. Some of them can be movies. Some of them can be 24 episodes. But you've never seen anything really like 50 episodes or above. Maybe you watched like one shonen when you got into anime, but like at least from my generation, there were a lot of people who just watched like Lucky Star, Azumanga, stuff like that, like shorter stuff. I mean, like Issy, for example, I don't think he would mind me name dropping him. He's he's seen a bunch of stuff in that sort of range, but in more recent years, like he's been trying to watch more like older stuff. He's been trying to watch some more long running stuff. He watched Attack No. 1 and Slam Dunk with us. Those were two shows that he watched.
Yeah.
But he's still like going at his own pace and doing his own thing, which is fine. Like I don't expect him to like do all of his homework in like a fell swoop.
Well, yeah,
like it's fine, even if I bully him for taking forever to watch the second episode of Otaku no Video or not having seen Mirai Nikki Redial.
I mean, to be fair, it's the second episode and you're done. What do you mean you watch the second episode of Otaku no Video?
He has been getting a little bit better at it, but for a while, for a hot minute, Izzy did like to just watch episode 1 of something. Then maybe like some of them he gave a couple more episodes like worth of a shot, but he didn't really finish a lot of anime. But now he's a little bit more focused. And he's been making good progress on that.
I guess bringing this back around a little bit to the where the fuck did anime videos go? Part of the reason why we haven't streamed as much is because like I like to have a topic for a stream, and I actually do like the streams where we can like talk about a specific video, and this kind of ties into the lack of anime content. There's not really been like a water. Are you saying? Oh, you're like super quiet for some reason.
I had to go to the bathroom, so I just turned my
I was like, "Are you talking?" Like,
whoopsies.
What was that?
Whoopsies. It hasn't really been like a video worthy of like any sort of like
Yeah, there's not really like
but that's just kind of where like YouTube in general has been. Like I know that everyone here plays TF2 and can relate to what I'm talking about, but recently actually there were a couple of creators in that space who made a video contest, basically just encouraging people to make more videos. It took a contest because content was really, really dire in that space, and it's been pretty dire for some time now. And I've noticed it myself. Like with video games in general, it feels like content has generally moved towards like challenge videos. Mostly I watch videos on like TF2 and Pokemon, and that's basically what those two communities have
People
boiled
are still
down
making
to.
TF2 videos.
Why?
Yes, and I'm still playing it even after I've been playing it for literally half of my life.
It's almost 20 years old.
Playing the game is one thing, but like, why are you making you? That's just cringe. What the fuck?
Right.
But yeah, there's not been like a good. What is the last one that was worth like? There was like the James Somerton. There's like FD Signifier. There's the
that was years ago.
The Evangelion one. Ago.
Was it Meat Canyon?
Yeah.
Is that what his fucking thing is? The Moon Channel.
And it's not like it's not like we are unaware of Cole that is posted on. Not to say those videos are Cole. It's not to say that we like we know we're aware of like videos that when they come out. It's just that we look at them and go, there's nothing really worth talking about here.
Anime Man?
Anime Men?
I think more like yeah, I guess like that whole controversy was probably the last like sort of big event that I remember where it involved like someone at least making a video, like trying, not obviously that first video where they reacted to the first episode of a bunch of different shows throughout anime history has been talked about to death. It's not good. And then they came back and tried to rectify it, and
we have a whole podcast talking about this with Johnny and Hayden from the Anime Men. You can just go listen to that.
Yeah, I've literally worked with them myself. Right after that video, I was brought on to assist, and I eventually helped edit one of their little review things. But they did a video on shoujo, and again, like they put out that video after they put out their initial thing, like wanting to appeal to that community and wanting to like give something to them. No one cared. Nobody gave a fuck. It's almost like I keep digging my own grave whenever I talk about this, but like it's so frustrating. Because like I want better like videos in that space too. I want more videos in general, but like almost no one makes videos in that space, and when they do, no one gives a fuck.
No, I mean that's just the anime space in general.
But like especially with that. And that's a space where like there's not really the same kind of animosity towards YouTubers in general, especially like female creators. Like they tend to be a lot more positive, but like their videos don't really make a splash at all. They have no effect. Again, like I mentioned before, my Fruits Basket video has been out for how long now? And there are still people making the claim that Natsuki Takuya does not like the 2001 anime, which may or may not be true, but it's a lot more nuanced than people give it credit for. And also, apparently, that reminds me, but Justin Sudeikis tweeted today that apparently the Rumiko Takahashi, like not liking Beautiful Dreamer, like that's also a myth.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that this is like drifting from the topic a little bit, but I'm convinced that anytime someone claims that a creator does not like an adaptation of something, like I just assume that it's projection now, because like you're a fan of the original work and you didn't like the movie or whatever, and so you project that onto the author.
I mean, it just goes back to there was I guess it's in okay. Again, this is going back to like the TikTok shit, but it's interesting seeing like the things that trend or like the discourse or whatever on there, because like I guess there was there's an article that Miles wrote back in 2024 about seasonal anime discourse, and it was after the spring 2024 season, and he was talking about seasonally. He was saying that the previous season discourse revolved around 6 shows, and apparently on TikTok or like in that sphere, general sphere, that statistic started getting pushed around as if it was only 6. There are only 6 shows in Western discourse are talked about, and they started being like, "Oh, it's basically just Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, Naruto, Boruto." Well, like it's like no, that is not what that article or that statistic was saying. They were talking about the 6 most popular shows of spring 2024, not of all time. But like, it's one of those things that just kind of affirms some bullshit like feeling that someone has in the pit of their stomach, and so they just kind of spread it around because it's like, oh well, it sounds right. That generally kind of aligns with something that I kind of have felt and kind of think is true to be true. So
it's reactionary content.
Yeah,
that's the fucking poison of this entire community.
Oh, you know, it makes sense that the mangaka of Kare Kano would not like Hideaki Anno saying, and that's why he stopped trying to make the anime for Kare Kano, because they started butting heads, and it's like, sure.
It's really funny because if I remember correctly, I think Johnny from the Anime Man, who reviewed Kare Kano in their shoujo video that I worked on, I want to say that like he knew about that beforehand, and I had to like tell him, no, that's not a thing, that's wrong. So it's a good thing that I was brought on.
Yeah, they probably would have just spread the same misinformation. And it's like at this point, it's like you can't even like blame. It can
be so hard to verify too.
Yeah, you can't even blame the people that are spreading it, because it's like, yeah, you can look it up, but like, if you look it up, you're just as likely to find sources that are saying the same thing, because they're all citing each other because it's just so spread around. So it's like, it's frustrating, but it's like,
yeah, like no one's going to go through the same effort that Steven did, where it's like, okay, he found a source and it's in French, and it actually talked about it like on the Wayback Machine. Like the website doesn't even exist anymore. Although I will give shit, because like that video that Steven put out got like over 1 million views. Huge video. And then there were still, again, people like large creators making videos that were like, oh yeah, the author of Kare Kano like hated the anime. Like a long form content too, not just some idiot in their car like spouting a bunch of bullshit that they just saw and are just like saying things without verifying anything. Like those people, I don't really I don't think they have any excuses.
I will say bashing these other YouTubers is tired at this rate. It's like there's no improvement, so it's like you're kind of just like banging your head against the wall. It's like, you need to stop spreading this misinformation, but it's like, what?
Yeah, it's just this like perpetual sort of cycle where it's like, you know, oh my god, what did the Trash Taste guy say wrong this time? What did Chibi say wrong this time? And it's like, yeah, it is tired to talk about these people, but like the problem keeps persisting.
That's why I just got to the point where I just
people don't watch other creators, which I know you're a big advocate for, like actually watching videos on the topic that you're interested in. which I agree with as well.
That's why
again, that's not something people do.
This is why I ban discussion of people that basically just make content to just stir the pot and generate revenue based on like rage bait or whatever. Because it's like they're not even talking about like specifically in the Discord server. I'm like, this is a fucking anime server, and it's like I don't mind, you know, talking about other things or whatever. But this kind of like this shit is just so fucking toxic. Like, why are we gonna? Why would I even like entertain this discussion being here anymore? Like, all it just sucks up so much of people's times, and they become so fucking like caught up in talking about like, oh, did you see what this person said? Did you see what it's like? Who cares? This is like a lot of these people are just fucking nobodies. Like, yeah, they're more popular as far as being a content creator than like us or whatever, but they're not in the industry. Like, if this is a fucking anime server, I care about what people in the industry are doing or like anime or whatever. If this is a person that was just, they made some anime content, then now they're just kind of anime adjacent and they're just talking about like drama slop. I don't care. I don't want to hear about them. None of this is benefiting anime discourse whatsoever. Like, in fact, I feel like a lot of this is part of why anime videos on YouTube is like so shit, because like people are just more caught up in like drama slop bullshit than they are actually talking about anime. Like, even the people that used to talk about anime now just want to talk about like traveling through Japan or just drama or whatever.
I have been saying that like the content on YouTube and these other platforms nowadays is just like the person themselves. It's not like 10 years ago where you had content cop like attacking other people's like content, like for them making shitty content that is bad. Remember when like there was a huge wave against like reaction content that was completely like valid, and at some point like people just stopped giving a shit, and everything that was being critiqued at the time has just like become accepted now. Like, it's okay for someone to just like watch a video and then leave, or just not commentate on video at all.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just expected now.
I'm bad about that too, so I can't say anything. That recent Japanese tweet refuting the point about high school anime being escapism, which I remember was an agreeable take when pedantic romantic argued it in a video, but not for trash taste. I do think it's an interesting what would you call it, like a meter stick. It's an interesting gauge of like where discourse has shifted, because I agree with, you know, some media that it was never necessarily a good take. I think that's always been a sort of take that came out of like the how do you want to put it? Like the wannabe academia kind of thing, where it's like, oh, did you know that anime is actually escapism for people or whatever? And it was something that like sounded smart, but like was kind of weird, like almost Orientalist in a way. I don't know if it was necessarily. It's probably true of some people, but like the way that it's been said is like kind of broad stroking it, where it's like, oh, Japan. Like I remember seeing people be like, oh, did you know that your life ends after college in Japan, because then you're just a wage slave to a company or whatever. And it's like, yeah, there's definitely issues as far as like, you know, worker exploitation in Japan and stuff, but this seems a little bit, I don't know how accurate of a take this or assessment this is. And it's interesting that we've got, and part of that again is because you point out it is a Japanese tweet, so it is a Japanese person being like, hey, this is kind of weird. Like, we do have other media, you know, like our whole lives aren't based around anime in high school, you know. I think that is a very it's just an interesting kind of meter stick of like where we're at as far as like discourse goes, where like something that was kind of seen as like an acceptable intellectual take in the sphere 10 years ago is now kind of being called out. I think it's generally a good thing. Not necessarily because I think like specifically that take is a bad one or something, but like just generally in the sense that people are at least more scrutinizing things that we kind of just take for granted. Yeah, I think I did go look at the account because I forget, we were confused if it was a Japanese account because of I think their profile picture was AI generated Heisenberg, if I remember right, or Breaking Bad.
God, yeah.
So we went and looked, and it was based out of Japan. So, you know, it's just not as good of vetting as you can really do. I did see the immediate post they posted after that was our video that we reposted about the yard beating people up for liking Monica with Japanese subtitles. Like, oh.
Fucking all the events happen on Twitter, and it's like always some dumb drama.
It's always dumb drama shit. I will say we are talking about like there's not really like interesting video content to respond to on YouTube. That is not necessarily the case on TikTok. Like people fucking respond to shit all the time on there. Like that whole I feel like the Joey responding to the female protagonist thing was not as big of a thing on here as it was on TikTok. Like it was like there were people that made videos. Like I know Enoki made a video. Who was that one guy that we found that was just really funny? That was like, I just fucking hate Joey.
Oh god, let me.
Mo talks media. Is that what Mo hates media?
Yeah, Mo hates media. Yeah.
He made a video on it. Granted, I think he's got a larger audience on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff than he does YouTube, but like there were people that made videos on the subject, and then you had like the fucking people that just did the drama shit or whatever. But like on TikTok, people like honestly, if TikTok was just not so full of like teenage and 20 somethings whose opinions were just malformed or like are not developed because they're so young.
You know what's a good thought? We wouldn't have to deal with that in like a few decades if birth rates keep declining and people just stop having kids.
Yeah, we will not have to deal with that.
No more children online because no one's having kids. Let's fuck. I'm doing my part.
The problem is not that there are children online. This is more of an issue that it's more of the issue that the apparatus that I do think is kind of, it's interesting because it is more conducive to like what we've been saying is like, oh, people should be more like engaging with content. Is just the stuff that they're engaging with, and the people who are engaging in it are just young and inexperienced, and don't have developed opinions yet. So, like, because it is interesting because they do the reply thing. Like, that's something that's just kind of lost on YouTube now. Where it was like a big feature.
YouTube used to have like a literal reply feature. Like
your video would be at the bottom of the thing. Like that's like on TikTok now.
Yeah.
And like you can reply to a video and people are all giving their takes on the fucking thing and it's this big discussion or whatever. It just, the only really bad thing about it is it's all fucking kids that I don't think they have very valuable opinions, to be blunt. But like the actual like setup of the app is interesting, at least. Echo is back. Oh no, who am I echoing in?
What the fuck are you guys doing that's like causing this echo?
I don't know.
I'm not doing it. I don't think we're doing it. I don't even know why we're in 480p.
I'm literally not seeing anything come through on the meters.
You gotta farm you gotta farm your algorithm on TikTok and find all the old guys. That when I did kind of start to fix my TikTok algorithm, because not to try to get too much into it. Maybe we'll do it at some point, but like TikTok fucking sucks for finding new content. And so you had to get put into the fucking algorithm. And I did eventually get like recommended a Ray Fumo video. And
Ray?
I liked that. And then it gave me another Ray Fumo video and I liked that. And, and then my algorithm got fixed by, instead of being just regular Zoomer brain rot, this was Evangelion Zoomer brain rot. And I was like, yes.
The brain rot on TikTok is so good. Like just having the app installed and using it regularly, like you will find so much new vocab and like just random bullshit that like normal people don't know. Which is funny to say because like normal people use TikTok. But I feel like
it depends on what algorithm you're in.
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe YouTube's like the fuck shit now.
Yeah, we are all three using headphones. It sucks because like that's kind of why I started trying to like use TikTok more, because it's like that's where everyone is, and it feels like YouTube is just kind of dying. Not in like the literal sense of like the website is like is dead or whatever. Like it is still fucking way bigger than anything else on the fucking internet. It's one of the fucking 5 websites people use.
We are definitely in a recession.
Like, we are definitely in a recession. No, but like it in the terms of discourse, like it does not necessarily feel like YouTube is at the forefront of, I guess you would say, fandom discourse anymore. Like I feel like at some point YouTube used to be like someone would make like a video on ReZero or something, and then people would talk about it on Twitter or something. Now I think it's just like people will do that, but it's like they didn't watch the video and they're just pissed off that your thumbnail says like Attack on Titan's the best anime of all time or something, and they didn't watch it. Whereas like all the response and all the like the discussion is happening on TikTok, which kind of fucking sucks. For being real. That's why I felt the need to start using TikTok. Because you killed YouTube.
Like either TikTok or Twitter, I feel.
Oh, they're both such ass, dude. I fucking hate both of them so much.
Yeah.
TikTok I like more than Twitter. Because at least TikTok seems less unhinged.
And like, on TikTok, if you find someone who is like really racist or stupid, there is a higher chance that the comment section will just be like a bunch of people spamming stickers, like making fun of the guy or like stitching it, basically criticize it. If you say like racist, horrible shit on Twitter, you just get a bunch of people agreeing with you. And then like some quote tweets from like some people shitting on them, and then like their lackeys like attack them, and it's all just a giant flame war. It's really uninteresting.
Reddit rejecting anime content, more video content, other platforms, general hatred. Yeah, that's kind of what we've been discussing is like how much this fucking like people making content on YouTube is just seen as like the ire on like other like fucking Twitter or whatever. They're just like, I will never watch anime YouTube content. And it's like, I understand where it's coming from, but like,
why would I watch anime YouTube when I can watch anime? And then they don't watch anime.
Yeah, they don't watch anime, and then they don't. Well, like a lot of the like, anytime I've gotten into an argument with someone on Twitter, which is not very often, but anytime I have, and we've talked about this specifically, it's like, oh, I can form my own opinions. It's like, okay, well, what is your opinion? It's like, well, I don't watch anime, so I don't. And it's like, well, you're a fucking idiot. Like, Like you think anyone cares about your opinion when you don't watch anime? Like it's just so fucking.
Everyone just needs to have an opinion on literally everything now.
No one can just keep their mouth. Yeah, but you're unk now. That is totally like irrelevant to me. I feel like personality wise and where I've been at generally, I'm basically in the same place I am now as I was like 10 years ago. So like the only thing that's changed is now I can just be designated as an unk because I'm just like literally old enough. But 10, 15 years ago, I was still shitting on the same things I am now. I was directed to Shades. Oh, sorry, Shades, you're unk now. I've been unk. It's fine. Actually, I guess I technically have been. I have. If Shades, I guess if you're unk Hayden and you're 26, 10 years ago I would have been 24. That's close enough. Twitter's for the far right. TikTok is for the far left. Blue Sky is. I mean, I don't really care.
Blue Sky is definitely far left, but Blue Sky content on that is just like shitting on Twitter.
I don't see what I hate about Twitter is not necessarily like that it's far right or whatever. Because like I am used to posting on 4chan, like anything that they do on Twitter, it was done on 4chan, but worse. Hi, aren't we like close to the same age? What do you mean you're twice the unk? But what was I say? It's not necessarily that it's like it's far right or whatever. It's the was it the mechanisms that not the just the way it's constructed and the way the algorithms work and the way that it basically facilitates this stupid like culture war shit where it's like person A quote retweets person B and is like, look, get a load of this fucking idiot. And then you're like, and then all their followers just start dunking on them or whatever. No one engages in like nothing is about like actually having a conversation. It's just about like appealing to your circle or your whatever, your space. Like I can deal with people being like racist or like being a piece of shit or whatever like that. But it's like
because you identify with it.
Because I identify with it. No, I can deal with like being called a slur and shit. Like if you're having an actual discussion and like as much as you can say about 4chan, at least you could have like somewhat of a discussion with somebody because there wasn't like points being scored by anybody. Like you're all fucking anonymous. Like no one's following somebody on fucking 4chan or whatever. Like if you, the only way you could do that is if you had a trip and no one liked those. So no one was following those people be like, well, you're so cool. Whereas like on Twitter, it's just, that's all it is just fucking pageantry. It's like, oh, look how fucking dumb this guy is. Oh, yeah. Like who cares? No, what? Like I could deal with I could deal with having a discussion with someone and like trying to actually have like a conversation and like come to understanding or whatever, even if like you ultimately come away with it and not agreeing or whatever, like at least that's better than this stupid horse shit. Yeah, you're not that much older. You're only like, we would have been in high school together where that's how fucking close we are. Like you probably would have only been like 2 or 3 years ahead of me. These are people coming from somewhere else, but those are that's every social media site. I mean, true. That is basically every algorithmic social media. So that's really the root cause of all the problems is algorithms. Like people don't find anime anymore because algorithms. People can't find anime content anymore because algorithms. People can't fucking talk about anime before because algorithms. Bar is
technology is bad.
The bar is so low when A threads are the standard for decent conversation. I will say I had a lot of decent conversations on A. Granted, many of them were peppered with slurs, but they were decent conversations. Just not with decent people. It's at least better than a lot of Twitter discussions I've been in. And I will say for its time, I generally preferred having discussions on A than most other forums because at least there, granted, there were a lot of people that would LARP, like, or, you know, just fake being an anime expert or whatever.
You can say LARP. It's 2026.
Slurs from who? It was A.
You don't have to LARP like being like a cool unk. You can be a lame unk who says LARP.
You can be a lame. There are posers, all right, who would just like say things and act like they knew what they were talking about and didn't really. That happened a lot. I get it. But at least like they were talking about like seasonals and stuff when at the time there was not a lot of discussion about seasonal anime. The gatekeeping things that we implemented at the time, or like we practiced or whatever, were generally good in the moment sense, where you would filter out people that just would not engage with like seasonal discourse, where they'd be like, all new anime is moe shit now, and you're like, well, if you don't like moe shit, then why the fuck are you here? Go watch your fucking Toonami core bullshit or whatever, right? That has unfortunately been misappropriated to and tried to be applied to like a grander space, which does not work. But at least it like made sense at some point. Maybe it wasn't the most optimal way, but it was somewhat more respectable. Let's put it that way.
I just remembered, I've already told you about this, Mumi, but the other day I got an email from another YouTuber. I won't say who it is. It is a smaller creator.
I was going to guess PewDiePie.
It's PewDiePie. So PewDiePie emailed me and actually asked me for some like specification or clarification regarding sources that I used in one of my videos. That is the one and only time I have seen someone look at my work and then try to like take it one step further. The only time.
That's
I'm glad that it happened, and they seem very friendly and nice about it. I look forward to seeing what they have cooking up. So something is happening, at least something to look forward to. But again, even though I'm happy to have received that email, it did kind of planted in my head again that like, oh, I've been making videos now for a very long time, and this is the first and only time someone has attempted to like actually use my work for something useful, which has like been the intention for a long time now. I didn't always try to be more informative. In the beginning, I tried to be more of like a personality type channel, but I don't think I'm interesting. Yeah, I tried to be an influencer, but I don't think I'm interesting enough to really be like that.
Hayden the influencer.
Literally, that should be my new name.
You change your channel name to Hayden the influencer.
With 5,000 subscribers.
Hayden the influencer.
Or however many subs. I have. Yeah.
I think I've had folks approach me about this or in regards to my content, but I can't recall. It doesn't stick with me as long as my peers and comments on my videos. I don't know if no one's going to come to it is an interesting thing to think about though. Like, because we've been doing, I guess we're getting close to 5 years of doing this shit, Psy.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't feel like it's been 5. It doesn't feel like we've done anything.
It feels like it's been like 3 years since like 2 years. 2 years since that's like when we started doing like more regular kind of like podcast stuff as opposed to just very sporadically. What a long, strange trip it's been.
It's bleak.
Yeah.
Maybe it feels like it hasn't been 5 years because like the fuck we got the show for.
A couple banger.
That's what I'm telling you. You need to make your fucking videos so you have more shit to show for.
We got like 100 videos up on the channel.
I'm talking about like video essays, something that will actually reach a wider audience.
That's what the clips are for.
Oh my god. I said bro will do literally fucking anything to keep himself from working on his videos. Anything in his power. It's
hard trying to figure out like what the fuck people want to listen to or watch.
Well, you gotta fucking make it and find out.
Remember when you guys were excited to start this channel? I think you've done really good work. I mean, I don't think we were ever that excited. I think Psy was like thinking that this was like some fucking we're gonna do a nerd crew bit.
Yeah, no, that'd be the we do it for like 10 episodes, 10 videos, and that'd be at the end of it.
Gonna do the Among Us stream. I have been considering streaming on Twitch because I got time. I won't stream Among Us. I don't know what benefit that would be to do that.
We all hop on TF2.
We all hop on TF2. That will definitely bring in the numbers on Twitch.
Oh yeah, TF2 streams go gangbusters over there.
Exactly. That game is so alive and there's nothing wrong with it, and everyone's making videos.
It's very clear of bots and stuff. Like you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube is bleak. What's everyone's thoughts on YouTube? Is it bleak?
Bleak? Is it not bleak? Is it more or less bleak than the future of TF2?
Is there hope? Is there hope for YouTube to not become AI slop central?
Again, I don't even know if like the AI is the biggest problem. Like it is a significant problem, but like it's the lowering of the standards that I think is really like the problem right now. Because when the standard is like, this was at least human made, like that's really bad. And again, there are so few like event videos. I was saying earlier how like now is the only time in my whole life that like I've not found new YouTubers to like replace the old ones who quit. I think James Rolfe is like the only constant in my life. He's the only one that I've been consistently watching.
long as it's free to upload, we're not cooked. Yeah.
Looks into the camera. In before.
I mean, worst case scenario, I don't think they would make it where if you had some certain amount of tenure, maybe you wouldn't have to pay, or like maybe the opposite, if you only pay if you like get a certain amount of views or something. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
it's definitely a recession period, but like I can at least hope that, again, sorry to cut you off, but right now my hope is that within a few years maybe things can stabilize a little bit more. Like the economy being really bad is definitely like a big factor. It's not like a whole lot of diversity on YouTube in terms I had a conversation with Game Boy Lad like last year, I believe, of like there's not really a lot of like black creators on YouTube that like we actively watch. I think he knows a lot more people than me, but like we both had AO Odwin in common. He's really good, but I think a contributor to that is just the economy is really bad, and YouTube, to get to the point where you can make good shit, is like a very privileged position to be in. And so like all of the YouTubers you see spring up are like from the more like popular states in the US. You see very little like from Europe or other regions, really. Like it's very American centric and especially very white. Like that's not a good thing. But yeah, I think
you're basically just saying it's that meme where it's like white man was here. How do you know?
Pretty much.
Video essay.
Literally that meme. I think there is some truth to it though.
Yeah, I think the world at large being kind of shit right now contributes to it. Just when you want the anime industry to crash? What? I don't think that's happening.
Crash and slow down.
I don't think that's. I think that seemed more likely maybe 5-6 years ago. I don't know if it's trending that direction. It's like, unless we're just like in a bubble, I think I think the overseas market is just getting so big. I don't think it's likely to crash anytime soon.
Good night, Kai.
Are you up for the Among Us stream? Do you think that YouTube recommendations aren't doing what it should?
Recommendations are fine.
Depends.
It's just the content being made like isn't really being made, at least in my experience.
I don't even know if I agree with that necessarily. It depends on what you mean by what they should, because the YouTube algorithm is not made to give you things that are good. It's made to determine what it should recommend to you that might keep you on the platform. And sometimes that does overlap with something that is good, but that is not what it's made to do. So if you're saying it's not doing what it should, in the sense that it's not recommending you new content, then yeah, it's not doing a good job in like promoting new creators, but that's not really what it's supposed to do. The YouTube algorithm is supposed to make YouTube money and keep you on the website for as long as possible. And it does that pretty well.
I don't know. Again, like personally speaking, I think YouTube does a pretty good job of recommending videos that are pretty good. Again, like when I try to actively look out for videos, as we've done many times before, like looking up anime analysis, you don't find any good content because like it's when I say it's not being made, I mean it's not literally never ever being made, but like it's being made at such a low frequency to such a small audience, but mostly like a really low frequency that, you know, the chance of you being in the mood to actually look for something and something interesting being uploaded, for those two events to coincide, that's a very low chance. And I do that myself too with like the content that I prefer watching, generally speaking, which is like also not very popular YouTubers, because I don't like the meta that a lot of popular creators take, but it's good at recommending like decent videos, even when it's like outside of my range of interest. I can tell that it's well-made stuff because I like to watch things that are well-made.
I can't train my algorithm to give me what I want because there's not enough of it in my history. You should go after the stream. You should go to our homepage and just go click on, scroll down to the list of like channels that we have on there, not the guest channels one, but the one underneath it, and just click on like random small channels that I have on there and just watch their things, and that will fix your algorithm where it'll just recommend you random small channels that are making anime content. How much is copyright?
I should also here? Specify that.
I don't
know. You can say your thing.
I don't know. I don't know how much copyright claiming is to blame necessarily. Like this, when we're talking about like there's not a lot of this content being produced now, I think this stems from something that we were trying to like kind of point out and highlight and talk about when we were doing the initial sort of like Anitube audit streams that we would do, where there's a lot of these small channels who are trying to start out and not being able to get any kind of traction, and there's not any kind of apparatus to like help these people. That's probably where a lot of my frustration would be in regards to the sort of like old guard. And it's one of those things where it's like they're not necessarily obligated to like help new people or whatever, and like a lot of them just left, and like, you know, it is what it is. Like they kind of wash their hands of it, they're done, you know. But like it just seems like in the anime space more than any other space, there's like just no apparatus, no community, no way of, no real sense of like larger creators trying to help smaller creators in any capacity. Like there are like there's like, you look at like the biggest anime channels in the space are like Trash Taste in their channels, like Scamboli, Flash Reflections, and like Mother's Basement. It doesn't feel like any of these people really are helping to facilitate
Mother's Basement. He's shouted out some smaller creators last year. He shouted out Curious LTD, true. I believe his name is Curious. So he's that's made some definitely efforts more recently. I don't know if it's something that he does more consistently, but I did want to point that out.
I don't know how, like this isn't like a, oh, you're not doing anything kind of thing. It's just like I just don't know how much shout outs really help people. I think it's more of an issue of like there just not being any sort of apparatus or like any sort of sense of community whatsoever, in the sense that like if this were more of a common occurrence kind of thing, that would be more beneficial than just like, hey, I watched this cool channel, you should check them out, and then never mentioning it again, right?
I wonder if Discord may have been like an influence on that, because I feel like nowadays, I mean, this has always kind of been the case with like the viewer experience. Like the community is around the creator itself. And obviously, if it's like a collective group, then the viewers are going to watch that collective group, and maybe they have their favorite member or whatever, but they watch like that group of people. I feel like with Discord and everyone like having a Discord server makes things a lot more insular. I wonder if that may be the case or not. Or they just like kind of foster their own community and don't really reach out.
But that was definitely more of a thing back like 10 years ago, right? Where people would have like, there were these kind of apparatuses, and there was this kind of like collaborative effort to help prop up like other smaller channels, and then kind of this idea of like bringing everybody up more so. To what extent they were successful at it at the time is another story. But like all those systems basically are gone, right? Like anyone that did get success from that, there's not really a concerted effort to like helping anybody else anymore, right? There's like, it's just basically, it basically almost feels like fuck you, I got mine kind of thing, right? Like yeah, there is like an off, like I'm not saying that no one is doing anything, but there is, I mean, there's
maybe with like smaller creators, you have a more a better likelihood of like being a creator and then having another creator like stumble into your server. But it's like other creators usually of like a similar size to yours. Recently, I watched this YouTuber named Jing, who makes TF2 videos. We started talking, and like he's a little under 2,000 subscribers, so he's still like more around my level. But if he was like one of the bigger guys, would they have lent me their time of day? Maybe not. When you get bigger, you become a bit more reserved with who you talk to with. And it makes sense, because like you have less time, you want to talk to the people who don't waste your time, because talking to a lot of random people is absolutely like a big time sink. And like there is a part of me who feels a little bit bad that I don't keep in touch with as many people anymore, but it is just like so fucking draining and exhausting, just like talking to so many different kinds of people. Where I'm getting at is, if you get to like a higher position of like influence, like you just kind of shut yourself out from anybody from the outside, which makes sense interpersonally speaking, but like you have less of the bigger creators kind of fostering like a new generation of new creators, and more so like these people just have to figure things out for themselves, and they end up making the same mistakes as the previous generation, and like it's just an endless cycle.
Yeah, it's just it's just frustrating, and it's not even necessarily like it's someone's in particular's fault or anything. It's not like you can be like, oh, this is the algorithm's fault, this is this YouTuber's fault because they fucked up at this exact point. It's nothing like that. It's just like a weird confluence of things where it's just, it kind of just fucked a lot of people. Like I feel like the gaming space does not have this issue, because it feels like there's kind of more of like a middle class of gaming content creators. Like, yeah, there is an issue as far as like breaking out in the space at all, because there's just such a saturation of people that make game content on YouTube. So like getting out of like 1 to 2 viewer hell is another issue in itself. But it feels like there's just a larger audience, I guess, that is interested in games versus anime in like kind of the same capacity. Like you can have people dissecting fucking random obscure games. I don't know, maybe that's like a bias on my part. Like maybe I'm just seeing like the occasional like pathologic video or something that is successful, and you know the Dark Souls is basically just freer end of gaming YouTube or whatever. But
yeah,
it doesn't.
What I did want to say earlier is that I specifically tend my algorithm towards like more niche. I don't play games as much anymore, but I do mostly watch videos about games. So I tend my algorithm very niche because I don't play video games after the Showa era, basically. And so I do get recommended a bunch of really good smaller creators who make videos about the kind of games that I'm interested in. And like you still younger creators making videos about like NES games as well, even though that's like, you know, if you're at our age, you're supposed to be into like GameCube, stuff like that. But that's kind of persisted for a bit longer. It's not as prevalent as that era, obviously. But you do like it's very easy. It's easier for me to find people like that on my channel than it is for me to find anime content like pretty much ever, which is why I don't watch it.
For gaming YouTube, it depends. If you talk about niche games or even indie games, it's really hard to get out there. Like really hard to get out there. I've heard conflicting things because like
I feel like if you talk about really niche things, like that's almost like better because no one else is making videos about that. So you're not competing against the million other Zelda videos if you're making a video about some fuck ass like PC game from 40 years ago.
I was gonna say I've seen like people talk about how when they switch, like they make video game content, but they switch their content to talking about like indie games specifically, and that helps them grow or whatever. And that could be like a survivorship bias thing where it's just like they just happen to be the channel that blew up doing indie game content. But I don't know, I've heard both. I've heard mixed things is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, indie games are huge, even with like niche anime. I mean, if we think about it, like Hazel, she talks about a bunch of fuck shit. Like she's really popular. The kind of people, I don't want to say who are influenced by her, but like, you know, in that sort of genre of more like talking. How do I describe it without it sounding mean?
Loquacious.
Yes. Let's go with that. Where I guess it's more about like vibes.
I feel like reaction channels is where the anime content is on YouTube right now. I've heard many people saying that reaction content is on the decline too. Like
yeah.
When we say anime videos, it's not just like just anime analysis stuff. Like it seems like most anime content across the board is just like.
Well, again, it needs to be like attached to like a particular fandom. I think I forget some big like anime reaction channels talking about this, and it's like between like My Hero Academia ending, like and other stuff ending. There's not really a lot to talk about because those were like big like tentpole. They had like very established like fan bases for them, and now you can't react to them anymore. So it's like you got to move on to other things, but those other things do not have as sizable of like a fan base. So you're just kind of like, well, guess I'll die.
I'll die. Raven Idiot makes really good anime, mostly Gundam Mecha stuff content. So does Argon Bolt.
Yeah,
I really like their stuff on Mecha. They're doing like a series about Mecha stuff after in the shadow of Eva or influenced by Eva.
You got some good creators still making videos about mecha anime.
Yeah, like would we say so? The context of the question is not to necessarily say that there are no good content being made. It's just in a weird like limbo state where it's like there's a noticeable like drought in discourse as far as like anime content on YouTube goes. Where like there will be content that breaks through and blows up, but none of it feels like disposable, I guess. Like even when it's someone that does essay content, like the biggest recent sort of like essayist anime essay sort of thing I can think of is that Pay Talks Anime channel. Nothing, I've not seen anything that they've made make any sort of like impact as far as discourse goes. It kind of just seems like it's just people consume it and then move on and don't think about it, don't retain anything. It's like, oh yeah, that scene in Freered was really cool. It just it has this sense of like disposability. I don't know what to do about it. I don't have any solutions for you. I can just point out that seems to be a thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the best thing to do is still just experiment with making your own content and see if you can foster your own kind of community. Because like the ideal is you want to try to inspire people who can pick up the mantle after you eventually, burn your flame, so to say.
Pure white ash. Do I have anything positive to say? Anime is good.
Yeah.
Anime is in a good place, which makes it even weirder that like there's no discourse around it on a big fucking platform. I'm kind of old, so I'm curious if things moved to Instagram and TikTok or if it's the same on there. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier. A lot of this, I think, has to deal with the fact that younger people are coming in to replace older creators. Older creators are kind of aging out. But those younger people are not coming in to replace them on YouTube necessarily. They're doing it on got the hiccups. They're doing it on TikTok.
That's Moe, dude.
What's Moe?
Hiccups. You getting the hiccups. Very cute. You and your little cat ears. Sorry, what were you saying?
So
yeah, it's very late. We've been going for almost 4 hours. I'm very tired.
Yeah, I feel like we've kind of been talking in circles for a while now.
We made a lot of headway. But no, it's not
made many conversations over and over again, or made many points.
Many points. To answer your question, it is not quite the same. They're all TikTok today is 2016 YouTube. I guess before we leave, I mean,
do you think that there's an anti-intellectual aspect to this problem?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Nothing more needs to be said. Yes.
I guess to wrap up the stream, shit sucks. But since we're talking about anime content creators or whatever, this got recommended in my recommendation feed, so go watch. I don't know, it might be a bad video, it might be a good video, I don't know, but they got like 400 subs. It's a new video that got posted like 4 hours ago.
No,
check it out. Do something productive.
And it's good you put the tracking thing in there as well.
It's from the Weeb Crew account. Who fucking cares? Track us
when you watch
sharing
content from smaller creators, always be sure to make an effort to comment on the video and say something like additive. Whether your feelings are positive or negative, like just comment more, engage more with the videos, either pointing out flaws or things that they could do better, or like, that was a really cool point that you made. Maybe you can expand upon it. Just do that, and so many of these people everyone will be incredibly grateful.
Yeah. Maybe it was somewhat productive. I guess if that video gets 20 extra views, it was somewhat productive. Yes, it sucks.
Yeah.
Check out the podcast. Check out the rest of our shit.
Leave a little comment on
check out
Hayden.
Leave a comment. Like the video.
Watch Trident of the Sea. Episodes 1 through 3 out now.
Oh hell yeah! Finally, proper subs.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna